everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Burnout Culture. I am your host, one of your hosts, GC, and I would like to pass on to my other hosts a question. What era of Batman character would you be? If you could be any Batman character, any era, any character from the series, what would you be? From the brand, I guess.
I'd be Adam West Batman.
Well, you got to introduce yourselves and then answer the question. Otherwise, this doesn't work.
Hi. Well, I'm sorry, you didn't really like signpost that. Hi, my name is Cullen. I am two of wonderful 3 to 4 hosts. I would be Robert Pattinson, Batman.
Hello, I'm Hayes, and I would be Adam West Batman.
These are both very
goofy.
good answers. Yeah. I love both of these answers. I love Adam West Batman. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, that Adam West Batman show is like straight up just like a satire or like parody of Batman as a character. And I always loved that they were very self-aware when they were making it.
Very much so. It's very much a deconstruction of Batman.
Absolutely. I would be Nightwing. I
thought we had to pick Batmans.
No, I said any Batman character from any era.
That's fair.
I was almost going to pick the Danny DeVito Penguin. That was my second choice.
He's real good. Mm. He's real good. You know, if I were any shorter, I would cosplay Danny DeVito Penguin. Like if I was like, I'm 5'6", 5'8" on my license, ladies. But if I was like 5 feet, I would be like, yeah, Danny DeVito Penguin every time I go to a convention.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, GC. You're plenty short. Go for your dreams.
I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a compliment, but moving on, let's just get started because we actually got quite a few talking points today, and I'd like to get through them as quickly as possible.
Sounds good to me.
I played the new Lego Batman game, which was a weirdly highly anticipated one. I don't know if anybody else felt that way about this one. Usually,
I think part of it is we haven't gotten an Arkham game in forever, and this game is like kind of doing the Arkham thing.
Yeah,
I think that was a big part of it.
I'm a big fan of Batman stuff. I've played all the Arkham games except for recently. I played Arkham Knight, and I did not like the way they characterized Arkham Knight. I had never played the game to get introduced to him. I finally played the game long enough because I had it on PC. So when that game came out, for people that don't know, the game ran like absolute dog water. But it runs fine now. And I played it, and I finally got to the part where they introduced the Arkham Knight, and I was totally taken aback by the Arkham Knight characterization. Wow, that's the worst way to go. I know that's how the comics do it, but yeah, no, that doesn't work. That's bad. Just because the comics do it and it's like an important moment doesn't mean it's good. It's bad. Anyway.
I like how they're like, can you believe who the Arkham Knight is? It's like, yes.
Anybody who
yes,
knows anything about
opened
Batman.
a comic book in their life goes,
My favorite part about Arkham Knight at launch is because you could drive the Batmobile. If you run into NPCs, they just teleport to the side of the Batmobile because you can't kill anyone. That's very funny.
Well, I remember at launch, if you hit them, they go into like a stasis field and they beanbag around. And it's like, why?
You know what I'm realizing? Like, if they want to do these like superhero themed like GTA clones, which has been like the popular thing since the 2010s, just let us play as a villain so we can just kill people. Mm-hmm. Like, imagine like a Joker open world game.
That's what Prototype was.
Prototype was like that. Saints Row 4 is like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to play a superhero game where you get to like kill people,
but like an actual superhero, yeah.
No, I mean like actual licensed Batman game.
Oh, you want one of those? They should make another Punisher game then.
I'd be down.
They should make another Punisher game where you get to like, explode a building and the Punisher's like, it was full of people that were selling meth. It was totally justified. And then you blow up a police station because that's what the Punisher does.
Green Arrow, he's a little morally gray.
Green Arrow's pretty good too. There's so many good options for like a morally gray.
Yeah. Or Daredevil.
Game.
I mean, I wanted a Daredevil game.
Fuck yeah.
Like an actual good Daredevil game.
Jesus.
I just thought of something horrible. It's like, it's a Daredevil game. It's like, oh, is my TV on?
You're such a dick.
It's just an audio drama.
No, I got it. It's a Daredevil game, but it's a third-person camera, and you always have a friend hanging out with you, so the camera is always from their perspective.
They could just do the Quiet Man again. Remember the Quiet Man?
Let's
I
go back
remember
to
the
the Quiet Man.
I don't think we should ever go back to the Quiet Man, but you do you. That's what you feel. Well, who is that? Was that a dark? What is it? What's that anthology? People?
No,
that
The
studio.
Dark Pictures.
It wasn't that. The Quiet Man was just a weird Square Enix game.
It was just okay. This is an odd Square Enix game.
I like that Square
Quiet
Enix
Man.
is still doing that shit. They have Killer
Is that
in,
the
and
most-
it's like, what is this?
I don't know. Is that the most copyright? Is that the most copyright strike immune game ever? The Quiet Man.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, because no one cares.
So anyway, I played the Lego Batman game literally 40 minutes before we started the podcast, and so games don't really sell me within the first 40 minutes, but sometimes there's a rare exception. Can I just tell you how the game starts?
This is the first 40 minutes. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so you hit a new game, and I thought, oh, okay, we're gonna be playing as Year One Batman. We're gonna skip all the stuff, right? Nope. The first level, you play as young Bruce Wayne,
Okay.
and you
We're
walk
doing it, huh?
through. For people who don't know, the Lego games are amazing, by the way. I highly recommend Lego Jurassic World. If you've never played that, go play that at least. You start as young Bruce Wayne, and the second player is your dad.
Oh my god.
So he's following you around in the garden as you're collecting your outfit for the movie you're gonna go see, because it's a superhero movie, and you're collecting your gray ghost outfit. And my friend and I were sitting in the call, and I'm punching everything in the level because that's Lego games, right? And I'm making jokes. I'm like, wow, Dad, you and we make such a good team, or whatever. And then I cross like a checkpoint area, and Bruce Wayne's dad, Thomas Wayne, is like, we love you so much, Bruce. We're so glad you're our son. And we start laughing because we were just joking about it. And then I sat on a bench in the garden, and young Bruce Wayne goes, I love my life. I don't want it to change ever.
I feel like it's good that they did that, but if you really wanted to do it, he should have been like, I love having parents.
It was like immediately I was like, all right, I'm sold. I'm in.
Do they actually show them getting shot, or do they like
no,
pass
in
over
true
that?
Lego game fashion,
Okay.
Joe Cool shows up. And he's like, blah, 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 blah. And then Bruce Wayne goes, Dad, he's gotta. And then you hear a gunshot because they can't say gun in a Lego game.
Mhm.
And then the pearls fall. And then it cuts back to Bruce Wayne, and his parents aren't there. It's just the pearls and his dad's hat. And that's it. And then it like does like a time skip, and it's like, oh, the Wayne family tragedy strikes 10 years since the Wayne family tragedy. And Bruce Wayne is like, it's been 10 years. And he puts like 2 roses on the ground. And I believe it begins the plot of Batman Begins, where like he like immediately meets Ra's al Ghul or whatever. And it cuts to him on the mountain. But they're going for it because Joe Cool very clearly is supposed to be the Joker. So they're going for the Joe Cool Joker origin story as well.
I never really liked that one.
Yeah, I didn't like it either, but it seems to be so far from what I can tell, it's almost like a mishmash of like different Batman stuff.
Yeah,
which is always fun.
weird because I've seen a lot of clips, and there's the Batman stuff, there's Batman Begins stuff, there's some Snyder stuff. It's just like kind of a hot pot of different Batman things.
I've mentioned it before, but the Grant Morrison run of Batman is a very well-known run of Batman that people really like. And it's because what Grant Morrison did was take all of the Batman continuity and make it all canon. And it juggles it pretty well. And that's a tall order, right? That's hard to do because there's a lot of different retcons and stuff like that. They just took all of it and were like, it's going to be all of it. It's going to be all of it. And I'm going to make sense of it. And it's going to be good. And it is from everything I've been told, from what I've read so far of it. I have the first omnibus in my drawer, in my nightstand, of It's really, really good. And this seems to be going for like the same thing. It was really funny. And then I got like one combat sequence and it was just Arkham without the counter. I don't know if I get the counter later, but it was just Arkham. And I'm like totally cool with that. Cause like, yeah, like you were saying, Hayes, it's been a while since we had an Arkham game. And I actually quite missed the way those games played, minus the way it tracks combos, which is very badly.
It's weird because it's one of those things that like, there's been a billion games that have done the Arkham combat system, but like very few that really get the feel of it. You know, those Arkham games are just so satisfying.
This one gets it. This one's as heavy, but it's in Lego. It's really cool. I was actually really impressed. I was like, oh, this actually has the heftiness of an Arkham combat system. Also, another thing a lot of games don't do right about that system, they don't do the intricacies of Batman's movements. All of Batman's combos in every Arkham game are very meticulously animated and they chain in a very specific way depending on context. And I don't think a lot of people ever like really harnessed that in their implementations of that system. So it's very exciting. I'm probably going to play more of it later tonight. What have you been up to?
I have a quick question before we do that though, to keep things, kind of interesting. If you could like guarantee a Lego like spin-off tie-in game for a pre-existing like game franchise specifically.
Yeah,
well you can, because you know how like, yes, this is Batman, but like, they're doing Arkham like in that way. Like this is clearly bringing back an old like very popular game franchise, but doing it in Lego.
Totally.
So like, what would yours be?
Lego Elder Scrolls.
That's pretty interesting.
I've thought about this actually. Resident Evil is mine.
That's also pretty good.
Yeah.
Good choice. What about you, Cullen?
I think I might go like a anthology of Final Fantasy kind of thing.
I knew you were going to say that, but you're totally right.
But like, kind of like how the Batman game is all the different Batmans. Yeah. This is like, you start at FF1 and it like the combat changes depending on the game you're playing.
Okay, so that's the crazy thing about the Lego games that cover a wide swath of things in a single IP. That's why I was saying Lego Jurassic World is really good. That's exactly how that game plays. As you go through every movie, the mechanics build out until you're eventually able to like create dinosaurs.
Okay.
Did you ever play the Skywalker Saga?
I bought it,
and I never played enough of it, but I wanted to because I hear it's really good as well.
It is good. I've heard this.
I thought it was okay.
I've heard this Batman game is a lot more focused. Because Skywalker Saga was very segmented. It was like, all right, you're going to play through episode 1. And then all right, there's episode 2.
Skywalker Saga felt like it was a remake of like every game individually. Yeah, if that makes sense, right? Whereas the Lego Batman stuff is like this is not a redo of Lego Batman, the other two games. That's Lego Batman. This is like straight up like, oh, we're pulling in like literally everything. Yeah, I agree. I think it's crazy that it's like, I think I had confidence with this because when the guy that went on stage announced it, he was so goddamn sure of himself. like that guy came out on stage and was like, it's gonna be Batman, but it's gonna be like we're doing everything.
Was that the Game Awards they announced?
I think it was at the Game Awards. I don't know. I was very impressed by his like confidence in his presentation, and I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And I did, and I'm so far so good. Very, very small amount of time, but
I do have a question too.
Immediately. Yeah.
Do you think the Lego games have as good a humor since they've added voice acting? Because the vibe of them, of the older games that don't have any voiceover, is very different.
So here's what I think. I think the writing has stayed just as strong. And I think the voice acting is still really good. I think for Batman it works, but I don't necessarily think every Lego game needs to have voice acting because I think the writers at Traveler's Tales, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're like I don't know what their process is, but like Jurassic World literally only uses movie quotes. It just uses audio from the movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then they tell, but the story is different because one of the things, if people don't know, one of the things about Lego games, there's a rule. You can't kill anybody. Nobody dies in a Lego game. So they have to find creative ways to get rid of characters who in the actual like movie die. So you have to find clever ways to make that happen that are still satisfying. And the way they do that is through comedy. And like it works really well. Like I don't want to go into specifics. There's too many examples to cite is the sort of thing. It's just like a general feel of them. The Lego game writers are really good at coming up with creative ways to retell the stories where people die.
See, I haven't played too many of the ones with voice acting, but the way I've always thought of it is that it's like, it's probably like it allows the writers to just be funnier because they're able to like, they're not so limited by just wacky little movements of like Lego characters, which is like funny in its own right. But like, even as a kid, I was getting sick of those.
Yeah.
By,
and
like,
they are
Indiana
screenwriters,
Jones.
right? Like they are still writing a screenplay. It's just a screenplay without dialogue. So I imagine with voice acting, they're able to have zingers basically. But I think the Lego movie and the Lego Batman movie, which is really good.
Lego Batman movie is great. Yeah.
I cried watching the Lego Batman movie on my way to MagFest once. And I was not even embarrassed. I was like, anybody would cry to this movie. This is such a beautiful movie. I think the Lego movie did a lot. I don't even know if it's the same writers, but I'm sure they come from the same, like, whatever like workshop they do with the writers that are under the Lego brand. I'm sure they get everybody to do it, or they train everybody in like the same way and they give them the same style guides or something, because the Lego games after the Lego movie are still written really well and sort of emulate the style of the Lego movies. And the Lego movies are really good. Like the Lego movies are just funny movies. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen like one of them, Cullen, but like,
no, I watched Lego movies.
All of them have been a surprise because like even the stupid Lego Ninjago movie is kind of fun. And I didn't know anything about Ninjago.
I'm telling you, however they do it, whether it's the same person or they're just like learning the same stuff together, like they understand. It's just we have to explain it because like I'm sure there's a lot of people that just don't play the Lego games, and I was almost one of those people. If it were not for like a friend of mine who randomly like insisted that I play Lego Jurassic World, like they understand comedy at a fundamental level where they are not making jokes that you've heard before. They are getting down to like the root of comedy, which is like Abbott and Costello style, like wordplay and like subversion. And it's really well done. It is just like really good, not just for kids. It's just like you play a Lego game that does jokes and you like genuinely appreciate the humor in them. At least I do. Like I'm like every time I play a Lego game, I'm like deeply impressed because I constantly forget that it's like this is like stuff made for kids that very clearly like understands that kids will get like basics of humor and like will fundamentally understand it.
It's the difference between like those kids movies that, you know, like the Lego games are made for kids, but you can enjoy them as an adult. It's like the difference between like Minions and How to Train Your Dragon, right?
I agree. Yes. Where it's like the comedy does not come from referential humor, nor does it come from like this very like, folks, when you like look at comedy and you laugh at a comedy, sometimes in the back of your head, you can tell that the comedy is not going to age well. And you don't know that for sure. So you won't say that out loud, but over time you'll look back and go, oh yeah, that didn't age well. Like it's very contemporary humor is what I guess is what you would call it. When you see like timeless humor where like the jokes are coming from just like a basic word structure or just like the construction of a good joke, like it's very, very, very different. And it's timeless. And that's what the Lego games sort of aim for. And I'm very appreciative of that more often than not. But yeah. Sorry.
I by and large enjoy most of them. There have been a couple here and there that I haven't loved, but most of them. I really like Lego City Undercover was really good.
I haven't played that yet, but like if it's good enough for GOG to be like, we have to keep this game alive forever, then it's good enough for me. Yeah. I got to try that one out. I have it on both GOG and Steam, and I want to try it.
There's some really good old Lego games too. Like, did you ever play Lego Island?
Lego Island's sick.
Where you play as Pepper and you got to deliver pieces. Oh, Lego Racers is so good.
Fuck, dude. Lego Racers was like one of my favorite fucking games as a kid.
That and
my
Pod
computer
Racer.
Couldn't run it.
Oh.
Pod Racer's great. Speaking of which, that's coming out soon, isn't it?
The Galactic Racer is, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like I don't know. I highly recommend the Lego game. There was that awkward period with Lego games. I think it was around the time Lego Lord of the Rings was coming out, where they were trying to be more than just the Lego. The 360 era of Lego game for a really long time was just what Lego games had always been, which were fine, but a lot of people were just not really grabbed to them. Like, that's why they remade all the Star Wars stuff in the Skywalker saga, because those games were made before the Lego series sort of like gained its identity as like, oh wait, we can actually like play with the license. And probably because back in the day they couldn't play with the license, right? They weren't allowed to.
Yeah, there was a period of time where they all became like, they were good, but they were very formulaic. I remember feeling that way about the Pirates of the Caribbean one as well. Just like, it's fine, it's just like, it's the same as all the other ones.
Kung Fu Panda, Indiana Jones.
Yeah, Lego City Undercover, I think, was when they really started to like branch out and experiment and do different things with them. And
I think it was because they were able to, because it wasn't an IP.
Yeah.
It wasn't a cross IP. It was just their proprietary Lego game.
Yeah, they did Lego Dimensions around that time too.
Lego Dimensions is the Minecraft one, right?
That's the Toys to Life one. Games.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. But yeah, like more recently, I want to say like in the last, like, I don't know, what do you think? Like since 2016 maybe, a lot of the Lego games have been very good. You get your bargain ones, you get your Lego Invincibles or your Lego
I forgot they made
what is it, Lego
the Invincibles.
Yeah. Wait, Lego Invincibles? What's that?
Sorry, not the Invincibles, the Incredibles.
Oh, Incredibles. Oh. Sorry, yeah.
Oh, I forgot they made one of those.
There's Lego The Incredibles, but even that, like I used to watch my nephew when he was younger, he would watch like long plays of that. And even that was like you could see like them like understanding what they can do with the Lego license. And it's been very nice to see, especially because like I disagree with a lot of the Lego stuff physically. A lot of the physical Lego sets and the pricing of that, I'm like,
the pricing physically.
I want to fight it. I want to fight it in a boxing ring.
I disagree with it carnally.
Carnally, I would not stick my wiener inside of Lego as a brand.
I mean, wouldn't that be like you put it in the wiener?
No, it means ow.
Yeah, now you thought about it.
I was assuming there would be like a big logo that I would kind of stand next to naked.
See,
but you took it to a darker place. Oh, look, I've heard some. Never mind.
What actually happen is you go run up to the logo and then you step on the Lego piece and then you die.
You know, those don't hurt me.
Yeah, they don't hurt me either. It's very low effort humor to be like, oh, I step on a Lego and it sucks. And I go like, I just don't do that.
I don't know who
started that.
Said that stepping on a Lego hurts, but like I've never stepped on a Lego. Maybe it's because I've worked a day job where I'm on my feet.
It's not the most painful thing, but
it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. I feel like that's people outing themselves as like big steppers. Like if you're always stomping around, yeah, I can imagine that might hurt. But
I think it might also be from people who aren't used to being on their feet all day, because my feet are pretty tough because of my work experience. But like, I don't know, I've never stepped on a Lego and been like, ooh, ow, I'll never be able to stand again. But yeah, Lego Batman, so far so good. 40 minutes only, so you know, extreme grain of salt, like a single, or I guess a lot of salt. How's that expression work? Is it more salt?
Take it with a grain of salt. Yeah. I think that means like,
I think a grain is just a single, like one single grain.
So I guess it's like, take it as a grain of salt, where it's like it's one single grain of salt. It's like this is minuscule. of an evaluation.
Well, I think it's like take it with a grain of salt. So it's like you add the salt to it to make it better.
Take it with a grain of salt. Meaning, view or consider something with skepticism, but like, why? Is salt bad? Like, does it make you go wakala? You know, like, okay, I guess. I mean, it wouldn't be a grain of salt. It'd be like a lot of salt, because like 1 grain of salt would probably make something taste better, wouldn't it?
I think that's why you do it, is so it tastes better.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're so smart.
I try.
Anyway, that was Lego Batman. I've actually done a lot of stuff this week, but like, has anybody else done anything this week that's noteworthy that you can talk about? Because y'all are always covered by NDAs. Unlike me, I've never signed an NDA in my life. That's also a lie, but
oh geez. I don't. Well, okay. I played like 10 hours of Tales of Arise on Switch.
On Switch? Mm.
Yeah, and I went, this is Tales of Arise on Switch. Oh boy, the train's sure coming on this one. I really don't want to enjoy this up until I don't. But oh geez.
What game did you say?
Tales of Arise.
What is that?
Performance
Tales of game.
Performance wise, how is it in handheld?
It's actually pretty impressive.
It's crazy that I was about to ask you what console, but I should have known better.
No, I did say Switch.
I know, I just wasn't paying attention. I got distracted.
But yeah, it's like a decent 30. It stutters at points.
Wow.
They didn't get it perfectly.
Wow, no, I'm sorry. On Switch 2, that should be running uncapped at 60. Or rather, it should be running at least at 60.
Nah, PS5 game, Unreal Engine.
Oh, okay, it's one of
Final
those.
Fantasy VII Remake's 30 on Switch 2, right?
Yeah, but
this
it's a
came
PS4
out
game.
this came out like 3 years ago. I thought this was like a 2020 game, 2019 game.
No, they have other problems with that where they're like the Switch ports of like all of their Tales games are just always capped at 30, and it's fucking awful.
Hi, Tales of Symphonia HD. You were a botch.
God.
Of
See, with that one,
unproportional levels.
Look, I'm willing to give them, like, I understand it because the only version that exists, like source code wise, is the 30 FPS version. But when like Graces, Berseria, and Zillia were all like 60 FPS games on their original consoles.
Can I be real with you? Can I be real with you? I'll take it a step further, and you don't have to like sign your name on this. People that port PC games or that have to like remaster games that the source code no longer exists, often what they do is they just reverse engineer the game that's on the disc.
Yeah, that would cost money.
Yeah, it would cost money, but also like it would make money.
No, it costs money. We don't want to do that.
Okay, well,
Bandai does not seem to want to spend much of anything on the Tales games.
Yeah.
Well, Bandai doesn't have a super genius doing their finances like Koei Tecmo does.
Which is crazy because they go like, you know, every Dragon Ball game, it's like blowout marketing and everything. And it's like,
and then the fucking game itself seems like it has less money than the market.
Yeah.
And they're made with like $5.
Remember how long Kakarot took to get for PC Kakarot to get the next gen update? Remember that?
Yeah.
That's the whole reason I haven't played Bandai. If anyone that works at Bandai Namco is listening, the whole reason I haven't gone to play Dragon Ball Kakarot, and the whole reason you probably like missed out on influencers covering it, is probably because the PC port of Kakarot took so long to get the next gen update that PS5 got like, I don't know, like a year and a half before it.
That game got
insane.
That game got a new expansion like 6 months ago.
It did. It did.
And it's been out for what, 8 years?
Xenoverse 2, which I will actually give them credit for. Xenoverse 2 still gets DLC.
Yeah.
The last DLC was like October 20.
Yeah, they're stopping it now only because they're making Xenoverse 3. Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't even played Xenoverse 2, but I want to because I really liked Xenoverse 1. I want to replay Xenoverse 1 so I can.
The craziest thing too is that those games still do pretty well. That people play Dragon Ball games for a long ass time, man.
As Dragon Ball, people will say things about like Pokemon, and I know Pokemon does really well because it's Pokemon. But like Dragon Ball is strong enough of an IP where it's like if you make a Dragon Ball game, people are gonna pick it up. Like people are just gonna grab the next thing that's out. I think so, unless it's like a fucking card game.
There's some exceptions like Dragon Ball The Breakers.
Breakers
that
is
weird like
terrible
asymmetric. I had to review that. That was a bizarre game.
I feel like also people don't play the mobile games.
No. But I mean like a proper, like a fighting, a DBZ game that has action gameplay. Not even fighting game, but like an action gameplay. People are going to play that.
Yeah, like Sparking
the weird
Zero
Dead by
sold,
Daylight clone, no one's going to touch that.
Sparking Zero sold what, like 3 million copies in the first week or something?
Mm-hmm. I want them to make a Legacy of Goku spiritual successor, which is what I think Kakarot is. So I really want to get around to Kakarot now that it's got the PC update.
It's basically that. I like Kakarot. It's got some problems, but it's fun. I like it.
Yeah, you know what's crazy to me, and this is like, this is one of those things that I feel Koei Tecmo should maybe like interrogate itself for. Dragon Ball Z is the show. It's the anime. Bandai Namco. So, what did I say?
Koei Tecmo.
Sorry, Koei Tecmo. No, you're doing good, baby. I'm scared of what'll happen when your financial advisor retires, which she is going to do soon. But I still love you for now. But
Koei Tecmo being like, "Fuck me for."
What you talking about me for? So I think Bandai Namco needs to interrogate itself, and the fact that you have, from what I understand, from what I can tell based on like what you're publishing, you basically have the publishing rights on Dragon Ball Z.
No, they're the only ones that can. Pretty much most big anime. Right? One Piece is the same way. I think they're the only ones that can publish a One Piece game.
You straight up have some of the biggest names in anime and manga, like in your wheelhouse, and you basically have exclusive like production rights for that. And I understand that like with the budgets that you give them, they still do really well. I'm looking at Kakarot's Steam page now, and it has 17,000 reviews.
Holy shit!
That's a lot.
That's insane, dude.
That's insane.
Wow.
So like I understand that on PC, like even on, and that's a PC market. That's insane. That's insane for PC gaming.
And you know that game sold better on probably both Xbox and PlayStation than on PC.
I would be shocked if it didn't, right? So it's not that I think you need to do this or else you're never going to sell copies again. This is not that. This is
money on the table.
I would really love it if you could pour like the Xenoverse guys. I fully believe the Kakarot team or the Xenoverse team, because Kakarot is made by CyberConnect 2.
Yeah.
I don't know who Xenoverse is. I think Xenoverse might be in-house. It's not. It's Dimps and Q-Lock. Whoa.
Oh, Dimps. Wow.
I love that Dimps is still around.
Who's doing 3 then if Dimps isn't around?
No, I said I'm glad they're still around.
Yeah. I mean, they're workhorses. Dimps is actually solely developing Xenoverse 3. I really hope Xenoverse 3 gets the money it needs, because like I know that you make a lot of money on these even without giving them the budgets that they probably deserve. And by deserve, I mean, you know that you can skimp out a bit on the production value because it's still going to sell well because it's Dragon Ball, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really want a high budget Dragon Ball game. I really want at some point in my life for there to be a Dragon Ball game that is spared no expense. Because in my heart of hearts, I know that if you give the right team the no expense budget, you are going to make a gazillion dollars. But also, more importantly, you will make a game that people will talk about until the end of time. Because people talk about Budokai all the time, and those games barely had a budget.
I feel the same way.
The closest we've ever gotten to that is Fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel the same way about Gundam. I'd love a Gundam game that isn't a stupid break. I mean, the Breakers games can be fun, but I would love an actual Gundam game with like a real story and a real game that's not SD Gundam Generation.
Hayes, Cullen, and I played Gundam Breaker 4.
Yeah,
and like we loved that game, and the entire time we were playing that game, we were like, if this game had like 1.5 its budget, like my god, what we could have had.
You remember
the
that?
Closest I can get to now for enjoying a Gundam game is Super Robot Wars.
Yeah,
I'll buy all of the ones that come out, the licensed crap fucking 6 out of 10s that will just continue to get made. But like, it sucks that Gundam games exist only as like reheated nachos of all of the heroes are together and they are fighting things. And Super Robot Wars is that as well, but also it's got Ideon in it. So it's like, there's more going on.
Even like, I love Dynasty Warriors Gundam, but it's also still that.
Yeah, and I should play that because I know one of the PS3 ones has Turn A and all like
the Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah,
I've heard good things. I've heard some good.
Reborn
things
is good. I'd play Reborn.
Yeah.
But like Gundam Breaker 4 was fine.
I'd love to see an original universe.
You understand, right?
Yeah.
Do another universe. Create another Gundam universe specifically for a game. Like, do you remember MS Saga on PS2?
I haven't played it, but like I want to for that reason, because I just want I want them to write a plot of like a Gundam season and put it into a game.
Exactly.
We almost had that with Age, but then they took it out of. Did it end up being a game? Well, it ended up being
a tie-in game, but I think it was initially it was 3DS game, but like that was originally I think going to be a Gundam game.
Yeah,
and then it became a show with a game tie-in, I believe. I want to watch Age.
I think there's a gotcha game for Iron-Blooded Orphans, isn't there? With like an original story.
That's where Turd Hunt came from.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where what came from?
Turd Hunt. That's the movie they packaged with Endless Waltz.
Oh, that was the thing that I showed up late to because I knew I didn't want to watch it.
Were you there at least for the end when the strongest character in all of Gundam showed up? Random lightning bolt.
Do you want to know something?
What?
I tuned in for that final battle. That's when I showed up to the theater.
Yes, you saw the best character in all of Gundam.
And I was like, okay, so for the entire night, I'm not even kidding, for the entire night we showed up. We saw Lightning Bolt show up. Lightning Bolt Kun show up to kill the bad guy. And I went, oh, there's probably a lot of context I missed or something, right? Because I was like, I mean, this isn't great, but like, obviously, there's got to be some lead up.
Surely
to this,
a
right?
random lightning bolt.
Maybe the villain
villain.
maybe the villain has some sort of fear of lightning, and like poetic license allowed them to do. Like my brain was doing that sort of thing.
You were like,
and
surely
then,
this wasn't made by idiots.
And then I went home and I looked at Blue Sky and all my friends who were also like went to the theater, and they actually sat through the whole thing, and they were like kind of fucked up that the bad guy just like randomly gets killed by lightning, and I was like, what do you mean there's no setup to that?
The duality.
Space lightning.
The duality of Gundam is getting that and Hathaway 2 in the span of like 4 months.
Oh, we'll talk about that because all three of us watched that movie, and I feel like all three of us have some pretty good opinions about it. I feel like we'll get to it. We'll get to it. If you want, we can talk about it right now because it's a perfect
that's the
segue.
only thing I could even talk about that I've been doing.
I mean, we're on it. Might as well just
let's go.
Yeah.
That movie's fucking awesome. I need to see it again.
I had a couple of qualms, fantastic,
but
super good.
I think a lot of its issues are just because it's the second movie of a trilogy, and kind of by default you're cooked.
It has that liminal value.
There's a lot of kind of nothing's going on in this one.
Yeah, because they have the strike that they're preparing, and that's not going to happen until the third movie. So inevitably, like, there's not a crescendo of action. I mean, there is a crescendo of action, but not in the overall narrative.
Like
Hayes, we talked about this, right? Where we said Cullen and I talked about this, and we were like, we really liked it, but we felt like there was we won't do any spoilers. We'll talk around it, folks. Don't worry. we felt like there was a lull in the second act.
Yeah, there definitely is.
Okay. I wanted to make sure
Like, it's
that
still
we
got
were all
some
on the
good
same
stuff,
page.
but there's definitely, it slows down for a little bit, and then the last like 20 minutes go nutty.
I wish the whole movie was like that.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that, like, because a lot of Gundam series take place over a very long period of time,
Yeah.
a lot of people I think might not realize that I think this thing just takes place over the course of like a month at most.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this movie takes place over the course of maybe either a couple days or a week.
Yeah, it's literally like a ploy, right? Like it's the story of an attempt at something, and I don't know if it succeeds or not, but you know, that's what
I will
it is.
say that,
it's
like,
one plan.
It's a movement. Yeah.
There is a lull, but I think part of what I like about this movie is, like, there's parts of it that are really about mundanity that I think really kind of like actually helps explore the characters really well. Like, this isn't a spoiler, but like the whole sequence where you're just watching Gigi decorate her apartment.
It's perfect.
I love that. That's a really good part.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought the scene was going to be something else, and so I was a little let down by it. But I also understand that this scene is basically about without spoiling it, and I hope you two pick up on what I'm saying. The scene is about the character and what she eventually does later in the movie.
Yeah.
Like it's essentially like, this is what she's doing right now. This is like the moment, and then later on that pays off in the way that it pays off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
I will say that even with that lull too, like, this is one of those rare movies where it is very much building up to the final stretch. Like, the whole movie is building up to the finale. And I think it's the rare movie where that buildup really kind of pays off, honestly.
That payoff is so good.
I like when you get into that last section, like, I'd say it's not even the last 20, just the last like 30, 40 minutes, it just all goes in.
Yeah.
And I like, cause it was losing me for a little bit. Because I think overall what I love about Hathaway 1 and why I've seen it like 5 times is that it is one of those movies that's just a very like, what's the word for it, like, transcendental experience. It is a, like, you are feeling that movie more than you are like watching it in a lot of ways.
I mean, the scene the scene I'm thinking of with Hathaway 1 of like we'll say the attack on the city,
on the hotel,
the way they frame it is just like, it's just when they do a thing that I don't get okay. I want to talk about that real quick, in that Tomino Gundam has always done that really well for the era that it was done in, right? Mm-hmm. Modern Gundam has never done the boots on the ground character during a mobile suit attack well. I think that movie does it well. Ironically, it is a Tomino thing.
Yes.
But these movies are based on novels that he wrote a long time ago.
Yeah. And Hathaway 2 does that as well.
Yep.
Yeah. And it was very impressive for whoever's directing this movie, whoever's writing the screenplay, whoever's like, whoever the team behind this, to capture the feeling that I think the original Gundam stuff wanted to get at the time in a modern context where you know, the craft has evolved and stuff to be more expressive like they I think that movie is so, like, that scene in that movie is the one scene in that movie that like stands out the most to me, and it's what I always think of when I think of Hathaway's Flash, is like it's that fucking scene. And I think like the reason some of the weird trepidation I have with the second movie, which is very minor, is that I am forgetting what Tomino Gundam looked like.
Mm-hmm.
And Tomino Gundam is not about the Gundam. Tomino Gundam is not about the fights. It's not about the skirmishes. It's about what people believe in and what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And what their struggles as people who are caught in the conflict. And I think this movie does it really fucking well. even if sometimes it sort of forgets to like angle the camera in the direction of their inner conflicts and their like turmoil sometimes, you know.
The thing that's really cool too, and both movies do this, there's a lot of fights at night. And you don't, even like outside of anime, just entertainment in general.
Never.
I don't think you see a lot of media that really does a good, like, what nighttime fighting at nighttime really is. And Gundam even takes that a step further by like having these mobile suit battles at night, which are really cool.
I feel the first one did that because they were like, yeah, with these 3D Gundams, we don't got it yet. But they do a lot of like clever stuff to work around that. And I think because it's boots on the ground, like feeling the conflict like that, it works. In this one, I still think that like some of the mobile suits look really weird. It was in the trailer, so I'm not like freaking out about saying it, but like the new Gundam looked a bit weird.
Mm-hmm.
But the way it shows off like the night sky is so cool. Like when you see the fight at night and the stars are like lit ablaze.
It's so good.
I just also I feel that the movie worked really well in ways that it makes me want to go rewatch the first one again.
Yeah,
just to pick up on all the
I watched it the day before. I watched the first one the day before I saw Hathaway 2.
So
and I genuinely wanted to just go watch the first one again right after.
Because you spent a lot of the first one wondering like, okay, what the fuck is this guy's deal?
Yeah.
Like you could piece it together, and he does say it out loud. Like he's being honest in a lot of ways when like he's speaking to himself. You understand what his turmoil is about with like Gigi, but you still don't get why.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this does a much better idea.
He is like, if I could put it into a very specific context that is not necessarily what the movie is saying, but is like the most relatable way we can look at it. Hathaway Noah is like a guy desperately trying to fight his way out of the pipeline, but also falling into the pipeline at the same time. But also it's more about like his like, he has to be more abstract because that's trying to relate it, but to be more abstract, hopefully this works, is he is a person who has some sort of hang up, and it has manifested in a very specific way, very specific way. And he believes the solution to overcoming that hang up is to essentially overcome the things about him that are very human.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
He's shutting off his humanity to be an ideal.
Yeah, and a lot of that is
what these movies are.
A lot of that is informed by his trauma from 0079 and Char's counterattack and stuff.
Yeah, because his dad sucks.
Yeah.
A lot of it has to do with the fact that he views the people that are important, that he's lost, that are important to him, in this case Amuro and Char, like he views those people as more than people. He views them as ideologies. He views them as heroes. He views them as representative of this greater thing that he feels, because, you know, he sort of, I don't know if this is evident in Char's counterattack verbatim, but, you know, he is a new type, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like in the definition of new type that I like, that Tomino does, which is he is simply a person who is conscious of like the reality of the world he lives in, and he is conscious of the reason why they are in conflict, and he has like opinions about it. Even though him and other new types may not agree on it, like he has like an understanding that like what we are doing is not all we are capable of, and the tragedy is that we continue to, you know, succumb to those things. So he develops this mentality of I have to get rid of my humanity. I have to transcend being human in order to achieve the things that these two people I looked up to could not, right? Or the things that they made mistakes in. And the reason they made those mistakes is because they were too human, is because they had their vices and they were unable to think beyond themselves. So he has like manifested this sort of like obsessive mentality over overcoming his human functions, his human like tendencies. And I found that really fucking compelling.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it is worth, despite them being a much bigger site than our dinky little podcast, the Aftermath article on it really helped me put a lot of pieces together. Because it's like it's hard to like finish this movie and not understand what it's about. Like you get it all, but there's a lot of parts where I'm like, okay, but why is it like this?
Mm-hmm.
And I just, it's an amazing article. I'm trying to like talk around.
I feel so bad. I feel so bad that I forget who the name of the person.
Isaiah Colbert.
Isaiah, there it is. Okay, I was trying to like. I feel so bad because like I got interviewed by them, and I'm so bad with names.
Best quote about this movie ever from the headline of this article. Yeah, that brother Hathaway Noah's starving. That's the movie. The article was legit amazing. I had like a bit of disappointment when I left the theater. I really liked it overall, but there was a lot I had to like work through. And then like that article really helped like connect all the dots. And now I am even thinking about going to see it again on Sunday while it's still in theaters, because I don't want to wait all that time just to see it again when it hits VOD or physical, because it's just that's Gundam.
It's
that's
interesting too,
Gundam.
because if you know the original light novels, like there are a couple really interesting changes. And additions they put in.
That whole ending bit is new,
totally new. But like it also feels authentic to the story. Like it is totally new, but it feels like it is there. It is clearly there to kind of enhance the thematic content of the movie.
If I cannot say anything about it because I respect our audience and I know they don't want to get spoiled. But if you know me and you know my opinions on Gundam, you know I was smiling that entire time. I was grinning ear to ear because one of my favorite things about UC Gundam happened. And at first, like, it happens a bit in Hathaway 1. And I go, oh, you know, plausible deniability on that. And then they go, no, fuck that thing in particular. I'm talking around it. And I go, yeah, you tell him, Hathaway. Yeah, you tell him.
I also will say, too, that, like, against all odds, the Sweet Child of Mine needle drop, like, really works.
It works.
It works in a way. I'm sorry though, I did laugh out loud in the theater.
Oh, it is funny.
Laugh out loud.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's supposed to be funny. That's the problem. I think because if you read the lyrics and
She's got eyes of the bluest skies that seem to me remind me of childhood memories.
Yeah,
where everything was a precious bright blue sky.
Grant, I'm sure that someone high up at Bandai was like, hey, here's some like licensed music money. I need you to license 2 songs so that people in the West like our movie. So can you do, like, you're doing this? And they go, fuck, all right. And they picked well for this headcanon I have on which they did not intend this, because it doesn't feel like this feels like a producer stepping in and being like, no, you're doing this. But despite that, I think it works. But you know that like in they clearly picked this song to kind of have to connect to the overall theme, because they even have like the Japanese subtitles that show up like during the credits, because they're trying to be like, guys, no, like pay attention to the lyrics here. The problem is that song has been ruined forever for modern American audiences because it's a meme. It's a big fucking meme.
Well, because it's Guns N' Roses, and Guns N' Roses has a history of let's say drama, and like a history of like funny posts and like funny things in the news.
This essential worker is dances every day. The entire staff is fired and then rehired afterwards.
Whoa!
Sweet child of mine.
Whoa.
It's just so like, because like I don't even care that we're doing licensed music in Gundam. That says a song is a banger. It's so good. It's
but then the colony
crazy
started
good.
a GoFundMe. Sorry.
Char
And
said
it's-
the rock sounded cool to me.
Help the Zombie family get their place back in
So
space.
wholesome. The zombie family shuts down this coffee shop so that this essential worker can dance.
It's just so goofy. It
is appropriate though. Is why I think it was fitting and why it worked. It's a little on the nose, but like so much of that movie was on the nose to me.
Gundam
like,
has always
fucking,
had
like,
a little bit of on the nose, like
yeah,
it's
like the
always been a
fucking
part
girl
of
boss
it.
song that plays when Gigi's like decorating
See,
her
but that's
apartment.
good.
We're gonna pretend that that's like
that's good though.
you know like woo 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 woo.
It's
Like,
an original song though. And it's
okay,
a Sawano song, so it's
okay,
good.
but like you know like it's the tone. It's the tone. It's matching
I don't
the tone.
care about the tone. I just wanted an original
Wow.
ending.
You hear that,
theme.
Tomino? This guy doesn't care about your tone.
I don't care about your tone. You keep that
Kill
up.
him, Tomino.
I guess it's also
Keep
worth
going.
pointing out that the director of this movie is the guy who did Genocidal Organ. So
Who? What?
What?
the director of Hathaway too. He made Genocidal Organ.
I've
What is
never heard of
Genesis?
that.
I'm looking it up.
Oh, it's good stuff, man. It's
Genocidal or yeah, you continue.
it's
Yeah.
where a lot of those like psychosexual themes kind of come from.
Ah, okay. By Keikaku Ito.
Yeah.
See, that is another one of my little qualms with the movie is that I really like a Sawano Gundam OST. Unicorn has a really good OST. Narrative has a good OST. He's known for having really cool, fun vocal battle theme, like fight scene themes.
Mm-hmm.
Hathaway 1 has, I think, like 1 or 2. And it's not like we don't have any vocal tracks in this, but it's for like a flashback and the GG girl boss montage, which is like fine.
Folks,
It's a
don't
good-
take this the wrong way. I'm
Hmm?
just fucking with Cullen right now. You hear that, everybody? You hear that? He thinks the fascist Gundam has some good music.
Yeah, I
Might
do.
as well have been like, they got some good points though.
Yeah, I do.
I hate
That one.
Unicorn
Okay,
so
that's not
much
even the
anyway.
fascist Gundam. That's
Unicorn?
Seed. That's Seed.
You're right. Seed is actually way more. Well, Seed is like,
We still got to get you on Seed one of these days.
yeah. You know what?
Gundam Seed is my
I-
favorite like love-hate show ever.
I think that's the right way. That's the way that I accept that viewpoint, because I think that's also Cullen's viewpoint.
I think
Of,
Destiny
like-
is one of the funniest shows ever made.
Destiny is a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun.
It's so fun.
I think the movie should have leaned harder on the psychosexual aspects. That's my one. Like, if I had any one criticism to make of the second Hathaway movie, it's that it's. I would have loved to have seen Hathaway struggling with that just a little bit more. Like, not by much,
Yeah.
but I would have liked more of the psycho,
One of my favorite scenes
the psychedelic stuff.
without any context, because I don't want to spoil it, is there's like
Mhm.
there's a scene where Hathaway is
The
just
Scream?
sitting. The Scream, yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Well, that was one of my
Yeah.
favorite scenes in this movie.
That is why I'm willing to say it worked overall, even if I do think some of the initial like interpersonal drama, God, talking around this sucks. That is initially in the first bit is a bit confusing to parse.
Yeah, it's a little dry too.
I think it is very dry. That movie's very dry in the second act. I think the line that continues to sit with me the longer I go from the movie, and this is, by the way, this is one of those movies that the longer I sit with it, the more I like it.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one line in the movie where he goes, "Why am I running?"
Yep.
That scene hangs with me the longest because I think it is the perfect encapsulation of his like internal conflict in the movie. Like, that is what the movie is about. It is him trying to fight these very normal things that anybody else should feel, that he is purposefully trying to like overcome for what is debatably, I don't even think the movie makes a statement on this, debatably a good idea or not, right? Like, like that's, I think my favorite part of the second movie is like, you're not really on his side.
No,
so
and it
much
never.
as like,
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't make a statement on like whether what he's doing is right or not. That's kind of.
but it's also compelling, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's left up to your interpretation.
I will say, I think,
yeah,
given where Tomino was in his life when he wrote that and kind of the state of UC Gundam, I think you're supposed to be more on Mafty's side than the Federation side.
You definitely are, but you are kind of like, in respect to specifically Hathaway Noah and his place in all of this, you're kind of like, how do I put it, in that it's like it is a compelling thing where it's like, man, I really don't know. Like, if you tried to put yourself in that situation, you would go, I really don't know what I would do in this situation, and I really don't know how I would handle it. I know I would be doing things that Hathaway Noah is doing, but I don't know I would be doing the same exact things Hathaway Noah is doing. And that to me is what makes it compelling, because the story doesn't go, is he a bad guy? Is he not a bad guy? That's not the point. The point is, it's like, do you think what he's doing is the effective way to do it?
Which is why
that,
it's
to me,
so good.
Yes.
Because there's so many AU Gundams that have to go like, is it bad to kill people? And it's like, oh my God, like, it's such a boring question for like this, especially when your whole, like, the plot of this is just like, hey, the system has faults. We should do something about that. Let's go for the politicians because it's doing something about it.
Yeah. And it's like, how far would you go? But not in terms of like, how far would you go in terms of like, how far would you take this conflict? More like, how would you feel about yourself? Like, how would you, that's the compelling part, right?
Turn yourself into someone who can be this.
I think that's part of, yeah.
It specifically also, what is one of my favorite things about post CCA Gundam, and it is very like, you don't get a lot of it, especially any of it of value, but the one good thing about Unicorn is what it thinks about Char, and it's specifically with Full Frontal, because we get to see like, okay, hey, we made a new Char. He's literally all of the public facing parts of him that has none of the interiority and none of the complexity, because the thing about Char and CCA is that it's an act. He is playing a character, and he's like, the same broken husk of a man.
I mean, the fucking scene in the subway, right? In the metro rail or whatever it is.
Yeah, we're like literally right after, he's like, I fucking hated that.
Yeah,
I can't stand that.
Full Frontal is like literally genetically engineered all the good parts of Char without the bad parts.
Yeah, and it's, you get to see that same thing where Noah is, Hathaway is, he does not, like, he didn't know Char really. He just knows about his ideals, and he's like, I can do that too. And the whole like trilogy is like, what if a guy thought Char was really cool and just decided, okay, but I can do that like, too.
But also, like, he's influenced by Amuro's stuff too, because he also looks up to Amuro.
Yeah,
and it's like
not really what I got from that.
Well, like, for me, it's like
I think he has more of the personal connection with Amuro.
Yeah, and that's his
like,
thing.
He didn't know
Char,
but he did know Amuro.
That's why, like, even in the first one, he's like, he thinks about Amuro, and he's like, "Shut up, Amuro! Get the fuck out of my head."
Yeah, because it's sort of like he wants to be the thing that he idolizes. But the person he has a personal connection with is like
Amuro.
Like the memory of that person is like trying to stop him from being that, because what he sees as like a person who had the right idea versus a person he was like intimately familiar with and still looked up to are at odds. And that's why he has that conflict. That's why he is having that internal conflict, and why, you know, stuff in both of those movies happens the way it does, where he is constantly in between what he has grown up around as being the right thing to do and what he sees as the right thing to do, right? Like he's fighting his like he's of two minds of it. And I think that is really what makes Hathaway, on top of all the other, he's a good character because he, you know, he's not just like, oh, I like these two guys, but like they argue in my head. It's more like I think this person had some ideas, but also I cannot neglect the fact that this other person that I knew very well was like, you know, trying to be reasonable in a world that was without reason. And like, even though he was on the wrong, like, even though he ultimately was like trying to, he worked for the system, right? He still had the right idea of like, hey, you gotta be like cognizant of like the actions you are taking, but I cannot completely discard this other thing of this guy that I like that is nuanced. That is interesting. That is like complicated and effective in that I do not have a straight answer. I do not have like a yes, no answer to this problem or this thing that makes me think about it. My
read on that and what like how Hathaway sees Amuro in both movies. And again, it's right there in the original as well. We're not spoiling anything. Yeah. Is just that Amuro represents the status quo. Like that is that mindset. And it is
comfortable. Yeah.
Is no, just sit around and do nothing. Someone will figure this out. We don't need to worry about that. And
it's not our job. It's not our place.
That ideology is what makes Hathaway so mad. And the movies are like Hathaway like destroying the idea of Amuro because Tomino didn't fucking like Amuro. Like he made Amuro like that way. Like he trained him wrong as a joke.
Well, like Amuro is supposed to represent the person who like literally the person who means well and thinks he can change things from the inside and ultimately just becomes a cog in the machine that assists the machine.
That's what I hope. Like, I hope the third movie gives Lane Aim a little more to do because
can I disagree with you, but agree with where you're coming from?
Yeah.
Because I love my pathetic meow meow Lane Aim. That is my fucking guy. I love that he sucks no matter what.
But you notice like, the role reversal here, right?
What?
Yeah, I don't necessarily mean like they need to turn him into a hero or something. I just hope he has a little more screen time because what's interesting about him is that he's being forced into a role because of Hathaway's choices.
Also, like Lane Aim is not Amuro.
He's a big baby bitch, and he goes.
But that's the insane part is that Lane Aim is not Amuro. Lane Aim is like also sort of fed up with the status quo, and they like Hathaway interprets it as though he is part of the status quo because he's piloting the Gundam that looks like the whatever, but to Lane Aim, none of this makes sense. Like they are very similar characters to the effectiveness of the movie in that it's like Hathaway has had the experiences Lane Aim has not. And so like they are at different points of that ideology. And it's like you are watching two very similar people who are not at the same points in that sort of experience having it out with each other because they don't know what else to do in that situation.
I think that's what's interesting because like Char and Amuro are polar opposite people ideologically and in every way possible. But like you said, Hathaway and Lane are like very much the same person, but trying to act as other people that they are not.
Yeah. Like they are this is why I like Tomino Gundam, which is Tomino understands that it's like, well, these characters are influenced by these other characters that I made. And it's like, what would happen if the ideologies of this person were passed down to this other person who had to experience the actions of that person? Like, how do those ideologies evolve? And that to me is the genius of like, of Tomino's brain and why I really like him as a creator and an artist is that he understands the sense of continuity where it's that continuity is not necessarily that things are maintained across like a long period of time. Continuity is about like in his mind and the way Gundam needs to be told is like, how do our ideologies, the ones that we have now, influence people tomorrow? And what are the problems they are going to have? Because they're not going to be the same problems we have. You know, like the ability for Tomino to look that far ahead, or at least make a guess based on like the way he's built the world and the allegories and the obvious parallels he's attaching to it. Like that to me is like the really compelling shit and why I really like the Hathaway movies, in that it's just like you're watching like when you watch the original Gundam, you are watching Char and Amuro. You're watching Char influenced by Daikun. You're watching Char influenced by like the things that happened to him as a result of like the things the people before him did. You're watching Amuro influenced by the things that people did before him did. And then Hathaway's Flash is not like, oh, I'm going to pick up where these people left off. It's, oh, I've interpreted these things differently because of my experiences due to what those people did, right? Like I'm taking this to a different direction entirely. Char was obsessed. Char was obsessed with like these like human things. And Hathaway interprets Char's failure as the problem is that he was too obsessed with like this filial piety thing. Yeah. And so I'm going to
strip away the human elements of it.
And that continuation, the way that develops, and like the sort of the cascading effect that it actually changes and it isn't just the same story every time. That's what makes that fucking movie so fucking good, where it's like Hathaway has totally unique problems.
I think these movies too have done such a good job of like taking the core of that story and like kind of modernizing it in a way.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's because like Tomino, like what he was speaking on was problems that have never gone away.
It's such a tragedy of Gundam, because I always view, I know a lot of people disagree with me on this, but I always view Gundam as a hopeful show. The problem is that every time you make a new Gundam, you have to reintroduce the war.
Yeah.
The conflict, because otherwise there's no conflict to sort of talk about. So like the real tragedy of Gundam is that in real life we continue to fall into conflict, but the hopeful message of Gundam at the end of every Gundam story is that we really can't overcome. It's just a point Tomino wants to make over and over again, because we in real life have not learned that lesson, right? And he wants to continue trying to get us to learn that lesson, right? Like the people who watched 0079, you know, are not the same people who watched I don't know, fucking the last thing Tomino ever made, right? Like it was over the course of like several years, right? And it's like the point being it's not that humanity is doomed to conflict, it's that humanity is capable of overcoming it if you, the viewer, watch the series and go, wait, I know what the problem is, or wait, I understand like this is futile. We should stop doing this, right? Like that's the point of Gundam to me, and that's why I think Gundam is a hopeful series. I don't think it's ultimately a tragic series. You know, I don't think Gundam is a tragedy by way of the point of the author. I think Gundam is a way of tragedy by way of Sunrise wants to continue making Gundam shows, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I get that, yeah. I guess the last thing Tomino made would have been Reconquista, wouldn't it?
Reconquista NG.
Yeah. It's a good show. I have some thoughts on that, but it's good.
If you want, you can talk about it. I gotta go pee, so
I don't have enough to say about it because I tried to get through it, and it was I watched the movies and it was very hard to figure out what was going on.
It's kind of like light Turn A Gundam, you know.
Yeah, and I have not watched Turn A yet.
Turn A is very good. It's very.
Turn A. I gotta watch Turn A.
It's very weird though. It gets like the second half of that show kind of goes off the rails in a good way.
Oh yeah, I'm just kind of I'm waiting because my girlfriend and I were gonna watch that together, and we just have not had a chance to really do that. So I'm just waiting for her to kind of want to watch a 50 episode Gundam, which is asking a lot of someone.
I'm trying to finally finish Double Zeta now. I never have. I've gotten.
Oh, you never did?
I got to like episode 32, I think, the first time I watched it, and I've just never gotten a chance to finish it. So I mean, I know what happens and everything, but
yeah,
I just haven't like actually finished the original show.
It's
I've never
picks up
watched
right
the original
after
Gundam.
that, I think.
I think it kind of starts picking up after like roughly episode 17, I want to say, because like once that tonal shift happens, then it really like it
then the
settles
show locks
in,
in and it's really good.
Yeah.
All right. So that was Hathaway. I think that was pretty good. Folks, if we talked about it anymore, you would have to see the movie first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I mean, it's a good, I think we all recommend it, right? I think no matter what we all feel about Gundam in general and the movie itself, it's like, yeah, just definitely
100%. I'm very curious to watch the dub and see how that is.
That's the one I think I'll go check on.
I had a friend who watched it after we watched the sub together.
Did they like it?
She says the dub is just as good. I'm reading it. She says, I think the only thing the Japanese dub was straight up better performance wise was the end. And that's
I could see that. Yeah.
The final, very final ending. The very final scene with the musical sting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think she was referring to like all the stuff that happens before the musical, the needle drop. I think she was literally just referring to the needle drop scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Apparently the dub is just as good. And she speaks Japanese, so she can, you know, she's a pretty good metric for that. But yeah. That's
it made me want to watch more Gundam.
Yeah.
Which is always good.
Yeah. I want to finish watching all of G Gundam again.
G Gundam.
I
gotta go back to that. That's such a good show.
It's so good.
What
that's the Gundam show that's not a Gundam show until it is, and it's like, we tricked you. It's a Gundam show.
What I ended up doing instead was I started reading Getter Robo.
Whoa! Can you talk about that for a little bit while I go to the bathroom, and I'll be right back, and I won't miss the whole thing.
No, but go pee anyway.
Okay, I will. Then we'll just take a quick break. Let me mark it, and then we'll start.
I'm sure I could find something to talk about.
I've never
it's literally going to be 2 minutes.
So.
I just have to pee. Like it'll be like less than a minute long.
Getter's a bit interesting. I don't know what got me to just wanting to read Getter. Mostly because I was like, I want to read an old thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm working through all these Gundams, and I'm just like, but I haven't like read many, you know, like manga. Like mecha manga is like a total blind spot for me.
Yeah, yeah. And it can be very different from mecha anime.
Oh yeah, too. Especially because it's got the early stuff has that Nagai touch, and Nagai is a kooky guy, all right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not like the hugest Go Nagai guy. But it's I don't know. There's like a bunch of Getter. Like this section of the podcast will be just me trying to explain, trying to get into Getter Robo. Because at first I was thinking about trying Mazinger.
Mm-hmm.
But the scans were a bit poop on that, so I was like, well, Getter is kind of, you know, like it's fine. And I'm very early on, but it's so funny how like episode 1 is just this like badass going to a martial arts tournament, beating everybody up because he's so cool. There's a very racist depiction of a black guy, as to be expected from 70s manga. But he beats him up too. And then he's like, would you like to be recruited into the Getter initiative? And he's like, oh, whatever. And then you're like, okay, cool. We're about to see some robots. And episode 2 is, we're getting attacked by evil newts that kill you.
What?
In the span of one chapter, the newts kill everyone in the compound, but like 5 people.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, okay, cool. This is just going. We are just going, and we're not stopping.
The mech design is pretty cool in Getter Robo, but I remember thinking that, but I've just never gotten around to actually watching or reading it.
Because like I agree, it's not as cool. Like I think the Mazinger looks a bit cooler, but I'm like, I don't always like the combo mechas where it's just like, oh, we've teamed up like a bunch of different ones together. But I also started I started watching SSS
Oh, Gridman?
Yeah, Gridman.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked that. And I liked the Dynazenon units in Super Robot Wars. Basically, all this is just coming from a place of, oh, I like Super Robot Wars.
Yeah. Have you ever read Escaflowne?
No, I have the Blu-ray, though. I really want to give that a go.
The manga is really good. I know the anime's different.
The anime was done by the fucking Macross guy.
Yeah. The manga is quite a bit darker for Escaflowne.
I've heard.
But like Escaflowne seems like really cool.
It's good.
Definitely seems like
very
shit
good.
I'd like.
Yeah, I think you would.
But that's another one where it's like,
I mean, the basic way to describe it is like fantasy Gundam, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is.
And I'm a fan of that. I dig that. But I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm just like trying to find a show I really like right now. That's kind of where I'm struggling with is I want something to really sink my teeth into. And
you should watch Old Kamen Rider.
Well, I mean, I'm not doing that. I'm thinking about watching Ryuki. Because my friend Shibuya came by and he was just showing me a bunch of Kamen Rider. And I was like, I do like a lot of this.
Resident Kamen Rider fan,
Shibuya Gato, our friend. But we started Double. And Double is pretty good.
I've heard good things about. I mean,
it's the detective one, so.
I mean, that's exactly how long. That's how you sell it on me. That's how you sell it to me.
It is a weekly detective drama.
Well, guess I'm watching Kamen Rider Ryuki whenever my friends get to it.
Double.
Oh, sorry, Double. Sorry, you're right.
But yeah, Double is pretty fun.
What is the best way to watch old Kamen Rider? Because I've wanted to watch a lot of old stuff, and I mean, is it the obvious answer?
You have to go to and then go to and then make sure you hit and you'll be able to watch all of them that you want.
Well, no. So I'd honestly say I do not think Kamen Rider is a show that you need to start at the beginning and watch all of them that way.
Yeah.
I think you just look at all the premises, or better than that, watch all the openings and then decide, oh, this one looks cool. I want to watch this.
That's a good way to decide. Yeah.
So
I like that.
My friends are actually watching through all of them, series by series from the beginning, right, in order of release. And one of the things that they've started doing is basically there are resources out there, and I would actually recommend you use these. I know for a lot of like anime and stuff, a lot of people have like gripes about what to do with that, like in terms of like, oh, I want to watch this anime, but I want to avoid like, episodes that aren't in the original manga run, or like are episodes that you could kind of do without if you're really just interested in like getting across the broad swath of them, right?
Filler's awesome.
Well, I personally, that's the other thing is like a lot of those people that run those sorts of like watch order things will tell you, oh, this is filler, but this is actually like just like a really good episode and you should probably watch this, right?
Everyone told me to read Dragon Ball, the original, and then I watched the anime and I'm like, oh, this wasn't in the manga. I'd never be able to tell.
No, yeah, the filler sometimes is just like, this is just great, this is just good, you should
like the infamous awesome. Like the driving class episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Oh my god.
Like maybe the best filler ever.
To that.
Yeah, and then like another thing with that is like if you tried to do that with like older anime adaptations, like so recently I've been reading Ashita no Joe, and I've also been checking a couple episodes of the anime adaptation. That adaptation takes incredible liberties with the original text, but I like it a lot with what it does. And it's like, it's a two cake situation. And sometimes you can't just disregard filler as, oh, this wasn't in the manga, because sometimes it's a two cake situation. You want both. With Kamen Rider, it literally, there's a lot of resources out there where people go, the problem with older Kamen Rider is that sometimes it really is villain of the week and nothing actually really like happens, but also the episode is not very good. A really great example is one of the early I don't know if this is the original. I think this is in the original series. So the original Kamen Rider, famous issue where the original actor got into a fucking motorcycle accident while they were filming. So they had to get a second guy to come in to film the show as a different Kamen Rider, which ultimately ends in a really cool the two Kamen Riders situation where the original guy comes back, but they keep the second guy and they're just twin Kamen Riders, which is awesome, right? So they do it really well. But however, there's like episodes where it's like, oh, in this episode, the villain of the week is the guy that was the ox monster in the last episode. And they took the crow monster's beak from that episode that the crow monster was in, and they hot glued it to the ox monster's nose because they needed an episode to come out. So like Kamen Rider is one of those things where you can definitely check out a watch list for. My friends are using a Korean one that sort of skips over certain things but goes, hey, this episode is very important. You need to go. This is actually where like things happen as opposed to like nothing happening. Because early Kamen Rider is very mired in like they don't know what they want to do, and the plot is sort of meandering in a lot of places because that's just what those shows were like at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for a very long time, television was just like that. You would just tune in to watch Kamen Rider beat a guy up, and that was the episode.
I'll make it easy on you. Start with Build, Kabuto, or Ryuki. Watch the OPs of all of them, and then decide which one looks the coolest, and then just start there, and then go back if you want.
Fair enough. Yeah, definitely one of those series is one of those rare occasions where you should watch a more modern one, and if you really appreciate it, go back to the older ones, and then just skip around. Literally, if you don't like an episode, my friends do that. If they don't like an episode and think an episode is just kind of boring, they just skip it and they go, okay, we'll go to the next one. And then if they find out something important happened, they'll go look at the 2 minutes that meant anything.
If you like Gundam 00, Build has the same composer, and boy, you can tell.
I've heard that. Yeah.
That
Cullen music
keeps
is
wanting
so
me to watch
good.
00, and I think
you haven't watched 00?
No, I've narrowed down to I never want to hear if you watch 00 or not.
Cullen, that's not true. That is absolutely not true. And I'm sorry to do this, but I will leave out as many details as possible. Cullen called me the other night.
Oh, fucking hell.
And begged me to watch 00 with him.
No, I didn't.
You asked me, you said, will you watch 00 with me? And I said, yes.
Liar. Okay, you're making me have to be embarrassing.
And the embarrassing stuff is the stuff that I did not bring up. Cullen asked me to watch 00 with him the other night, and I said, "Of course I will."
Okay, so
and I will leave it at
bring
that.
It up myself. Then I'm gonna have to.
No, don't. No, you don't have to.
Yes, I do.
That's
because I'm getting slandered.
No, you're not being slandered. Those are literally the things that you said.
I came back from Hathaway, and I had like a couple shots, like 10 or something.
This is fucked up. You're self-sabotaging yourself to make me look bad.
But you're making me look bad.
I've never seen this. I've never seen this happen. You're going to make yourself worse than I am ever going to look in order to spite me a little bit. Like you're spiting yourself a lot to spite me a little bit.
What you're talking about. Anyway, I got really drunk the Saturday I went to go see Hathaway. But also, I want to tell it because it's funny.
He's not well. You need to help me.
GC, this was fun. You have to admit it was funny.
It was funny. It was a little funny, but I did feel very. I felt very loved.
I'll spare some details.
Yeah,
but. On Saturday night, because my friend Shibuya was in town. We did a whole party for him after we saw Gundam. We did like drinking games and stuff. And again, I think I was 12 shots down.
Bro got turned up.
I didn't even feel it. But eventually I was just like, I had to step away for a second, and I went upstairs to my bathroom. And I was like, oh, finally quiet. And I was like, and I felt so sober when I walked to the door. And as soon as I sat down, I was like, I should call GC.
Do you guys like jazz?
And it was like that. And I guess I said a lot of embarrassing shit. GC is still uncovering all of the embarrassing shit. Also, it was 4 a.m., which is so funny.
It's going to be awesome because I'm not even going to bring up everything all at once. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for when it comes up organically in conversation where it's like, oh, hey, by the way.
Right before this podcast, he was like, yeah, so I'm showing up for your birthday. I was like, when the fuck was that?
And I was like, you asked me at 4 a.m. you said, and I quote, will you come and visit for my birthday? Will you be here? I'm scared that I'm turning 30.
Which is crazy because here's the thing.
And I said yes. And then you got very emotional.
I'm not gonna. I can't talk about that. But what I think is really funny is it's like, okay, here's
it's
the thing.
too late. You opened the bag.
Yes, but so here's the thing. It's not even that I don't want you to come up for my birthday. Logistically, I don't even know if you can come up for my birthday because I don't know what I'm doing for my birthday. We might be going out of town. So when you dropped that on me, I was like, what are you talking? And then
to
it all
make
like,
you feel better, I haven't scheduled anything. I know that's still up in the air, but
again, I got hit with the Nirvana the band like black and white flashback of things that didn't happen, and I was like,
go to my birthday.
yeah, I bought the plane ticket. I bought it. I'm gonna delete the email so I don't remember doing this.
Flights at 6 p.m. All right, we're setting this in stone. Yeah, I'm not gonna change my mind.
I'll remember.
None of that actually happened.
No, but and then I messaged a bunch of people. People who weren't even part of the conversation. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm a bad friend. And in my mind, I said, I don't agree with this. I literally do not agree with the things I'm saying. Why am I telling people this? Because I'm not a bad friend. Why am I saying this? And a bunch of people genuinely thought I thought this.
That was an eventful night.
It was a very eventful night.
Listen, I'm gonna throw you. I'm gonna throw you under the bus a little bit more.
Okay,
but this is funny. Okay,
it is funny. I'll like
this. This was not the case, but Cullen messaged me and said, I'm texting you from the toilet, and then after sending that message, sent me a voice call and asked to join a voice call.
And I realized this
now at 4 a.m.
Yes. Now here's the thing. I realized this only after the fact. That I was like how that actually seemed, because I was not like butt ass naked on the toilet. Video, and I video called him. I'll post my own goal, whatever it's called, because I video called GC.
So
and there was no risk of random nudity.
Now, folks, you probably already know this about me, given that you've probably seen other episodes. I really don't care if Cullen was actually dropping a deuce on the toilet when he called me. I don't give a fuck about that. That doesn't bother me. But
for all I know, there's a hidden memory that I did, and GC's just waiting to drop that I
for at least 15 minutes while we were having this call, and Cullen was FaceTiming me. I was like, bro's just taking his shit. Bro's just butt ass naked on the toilet, and I'm just having a conversation with him.
It was so embarrassing, and I hate that there's records of it.
Now there's even more records of it.
No, there's more, because again, it's like, because GC tried to lie that I would ever watch 00 with him.
And
it's not because I wouldn't want to. It's because that I specifically remember the feeling of being like, I got to show you one of my favorite shows ever, GC. I love the show more than God itself. Its name is Code Geass, and he sat through the first couple episodes and said, I hate this.
I did not say that. Good. You're misremembering things. Yeah, I did not say that. I said I want to see where this goes because I have some questions. But also, you didn't say that's not what happened. What happened is we did a podcast with Cosma, and Cosma fucking hates that show.
Yeah, that's true. And then you were like, oh my God, there's two of them.
And I started laughing because I still don't know what I feel about Code Geass because I only saw 2 episodes. But Cosma said that shit sucks. That's fascism. That's a fashy ass show. And I could hear the gunshot go off and strike you in the chest and explode your heart like that guy in Gundam Wing who gets shot in the head as he's thrown out of the airplane.
Yeah, that
and I was like, I've never felt this statement ever in my life more the statement of I've just witnessed a murder. I understand now when people say that. I was at a situation where that actually was like called for. I was like, oh, my best friend just got shot in the fucking face.
His dreams were shattered.
And
Yeah,
it sucks
I was like,
it's like when the one like the smartest guy you know says the show you grew up with and it was crucial.
It was like formative to your life.
Yeah, formative to my being and like what I love in fiction. And it's just like, this is trash. And it's like, I'm not even disagreeing with cause. Well, okay, I disagree. You know what I mean?
Like your face exploded into like glass shattering
so
battle
funny.
animation.
It
Like,
was so funny.
I was just like, oh, there's no coming back from this.
Yeah, so I just had to be like, well, I agree to disagree.
Oh,
I don't see it that way.
But you did ask me at 4 a.m.
I didn't.
Do not deny me because I will divulge more information. You asked me, you said, GC, will you watch Double O with me? I don't want you to hate it. And I said,
GC,
of course I will watch Double O with you. I don't think I'm going to hate it because we watched the first episode together, the dubbed version, by the way, which I am notoriously known for liking dubs less than the original just because I have like a weird
dub is the way to
with
go
certain
with
dubs.
Double O. The dub is
Double
so
O has
good.
a good ass dub.
It's
But
so
see,
good.
that's what I mean. That's what I mean is that I watched the dub and I was still into it and I still wanted to watch it. I wanted to watch Double O so badly that I almost started watching it with a completely different friend group to surprise you with the fact that I've watched it. So,
oh, I would love that, genuinely.
So you asked me, you said, GC, will you watch Double O with me? And I said, yes. And you made a face that looked like I had touched your heart and melted the ice around it, and that you had felt true compassion.
Was that before or after the bowel movement?
I didn't know.
Well,
it didn't happen.
no bowel
That's
movement
slander.
occurred, thankfully.
That's slander. No, because it wasn't. I just went there to be in the quiet.
And I can confirm that he was never
I know,
really
I'm
on the
joking, I'm
toilet,
joking.
literally, because he got up, and that was the moment where I was like, well, this is it. He got up to go downstairs. So if I hear a flush or if I see like a wipe or like him like shimmying to pull his pants up, like then I'll know that he was shitting. But he got up and he just went down the stairs without anything. So in my mind, I was like, well, now we have to find if Shibuya smells. If Shibuya goes, fuck, dude, you smell, then I know that he forgot to wipe his ass. But if no comment is made, then no foul was committed.
I mean, to be honest, sometimes you do if you just need a moment to yourself, you just go into the bathroom.
I do that all the time.
I literally just needed a moment. That's the thing.
The bathroom is the most private place you could go.
It is, yeah.
Especially my bathroom. Because
unless you have cats,
yours is in your room.
Yeah, I have a bathroom specifically in my room that is like 5 doors like behind, like there's like a bunch of different doors covering that. But it is very funny because at one point everyone had to go check up on me and people were yelling like, are you good? I was like, I'm calling JC, shut up. And then I went downstairs and I for some reason I forgot GC was still on. Again, I'm just gonna like out all the information, and also I'm gonna call your bluff saying like I could reveal more about you. You can't reveal more because there's stuff that would implicate you.
What are you? No, that's not what I'm talking about.
I'm just being funny.
There's one thing I could do that would not implicate me ever.
No, I'm just saying that I have leverage.
What the fuck did you drink?
Again, I just had like 12 shots.
Of what?
That does make a difference.
Everything?
Okay.
There was like whiskey, vodka.
Oh, so you mixed drinks. That's part of it.
As a bartender, I have to let you know if you decide to drink one night, drink the same thing, because it's going to give you a consistent feeling, and you will learn which one of those things makes you sad.
Well, no, we were doing
I know
drinking
that's
games,
weird.
So we like mix it up. No, but here's the thing though, as well,
awful.
like.
Yeah,
I needed like 8 drinks to feel buzzed. Like, and by 8 drinks, I mean 8 shots.
Well, that is true. Cullen has a case. I don't know. Hayes, have you ever like hung out with Cullen
only
in real life?
Once
we
in
drank
person.
Together.
Was it at the One Piece boat?
At the One Piece boat, yeah.
Okay. So the thing about Cullen that I'm sure you've already picked up on that people might not know is that Cullen is a weird sleeper drinker.
I'm a heavyweight.
Which is Cullen will be very drunk, but Cullen can keep drinking, and it's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's fucked up that Cullen gets drunk really fast, but Cullen reaches the point of no return way later than everybody else.
Well, I'd say like specifically, it takes a while for anything to really kick in. Like
I think it's the extra inches.
Yeah. I'm very buzzed for like a while, but like manageable. And then it kind of just like happens. But yeah, so then eventually at some point, I was like, I'm also the kind of person where I was like, I will do anything for the bit, like whatever's like is funny, I will do.
Yeah.
So I was like specifically like Solid Snake Metal Gear Solid 2 tanker sectioning around my house because someone kept trying to be like, don't go outside, Cullen. Cullen, don't go. Stop.
Hang on, I'm pulling up the DMs. At some point, I said you were worming.
No, and that's the thing. I was doing the crawl.
No, you
crawl.
thought you were doing the crawl. You were doing the worm. You were crawling, and then you kept getting up and going back down. And I think what you were doing is you were pressing the crouch button.
Yes, I was
repeatedly.
Yes,
that's very funny.
I cannot believe this podcast has devolved into this, but you know, at least it's content.
Sorry, I can't.
What?
I want to promise you, I did not laugh at you that entire night. I was so.
Oh yeah,
I was
also,
so
4 a.m.
endeared
He was
to
so
you.
tired.
I was so endeared to you. I was wide awake. I've been staying up pretty late.
I did not know. By the way, I did not know it was 4 a.m. I was so awake.
Yeah.
By that point, if you've had that much, you have no conception of time. So.
You've lost the human construct of time entirely. Yeah. Like, I was super wide awake, but also I was super endeared to you, and I at no point did I laugh at you or feel like this was like. I was so heartwarmed by your call. But when you gave the phone to Shibuya and Shibuya pointed the phone at you as you started Metal Gear Solid 5, prone walking, then crouch walking, then prone walking again, and it looked like a dance, I audibly went, and you remember this probably, I said, we got to teach you some dance moves. Because I thought you were dancing.
I only know that now, but I didn't give you the context of all the Metal Gear shenanigans I was up to.
You're right. It makes way more sense now that you were doing Metal Gear crouch animations. Yeah. That explains everything and leaves me with no more questions. Yep. Definitively. Yep.
God help.
I definitely have nothing else to ask you other than where did you learn that?
Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3 as well. Metal Gear
I don't know
Solid
enough about Metal Gear Solid to refute this,
Metal Gear
but
Solid,
people who know better,
Triple Delta.
Get his ass in the comments.
No, well, they can't get me because they didn't see it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just smell bull hockey.
No, I didn't use the bathroom. You already proved that.
Anyway, so that was Gundam and whatever that was.
Anyway, drinking's very fun. Do it in moderation.
Thank God you added that. Okay.
Well, no, here's
Speaking of drinking, I'm actually on my third glass of wine, and I had a margarita and a pisco sour before joining.
I can't have more than 2 drinks anymore, but
wine is like a cheat code.
Drink regularly. I pick every month or maybe a couple weeks. I don't know. Like I pick one day to go like crazy, and
I do it about every 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just go, okay, cool. No, so like I'm not like I don't got those demons in me.
It's a social thing.
Yeah,
the more social I am, the more often I drink.
It is very rare, in which I'll be alone and be like, let me make myself a little cocktail or like a glass of wine.
Yeah, I don't ever do that. I only drink either at dinner, if it's like we go out for a nice dinner, or if I'm at an event or something.
Mm.
Yeah. For me, it's like I very rarely, if ever, I will pour myself my own drink. I think like it has to be like the criteria is I have to be in the mood.
Yep.
It has to be the weekend. And it has to be like, I don't know, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. And I know I don't need to do anything tomorrow. And I'm like in the mood for a drink, but I didn't go out that day. So I'm like, you know what? I've got something in the house. I'll just pour myself something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, I don't know.
To be clear, like I don't have a problem if people drink at home. It's just
of course not.
I don't know. It's just weird. I don't find that enjoyable, right?
Yeah.
I grew up as I grew up as a bartender. My day job used to be bartending. So I have like an appreciation for like making cocktails. So if there's like a cocktail that like I've never made before, I'll do it. And I don't have a problem with drinking. Case in point, I was a bartender. But
He has a solution with drinking. Now that's the most alcoholic thing I've ever said.
like to be clear, we don't have a problem with drinking. Drink if you want, don't drink if you don't want.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Just don't be a buzzkill if I'm having fun, that's all.
Don't be a buzzkill, and also don't be like messy. You know, don't be disruptive. If you get so drunk that you become like,
if you call your friend at 4 a.m. and
no,
say a bunch of stuff.
See, that's where people misunderstand. See, that's my thing with drinking is if you are in a group of friends and you are all drinking that night and one of you gets really fucking drunk, that's fucking K.
Be cool
because you are not in public. You are not disrupting other people. You are not like being antagonistic. I knew a guy who used to get drunk and he would get angry drunk and he would smash the shot glasses that our friends owned on the floor at parties or hangouts that we would have.
Yeah,
and we told that guy,
yeah,
you cannot fucking drink. You need to stop fucking doing that because that's not okay.
I think breaking stuff is like a hard line. Like if you start breaking stuff when you're 100%. Drunk, that's a problem.
Unless you get drunk at the junkyard and everything's junk.
Or if it's an accident, like you slip and fall. Like okay.
Now here's the thing though.
Yeah.
Here's a small refutement of that. Mm-hmm. It is very fun to throw things when you're drunk.
Well, that's why you throw the right things. But when you're drunk, when you're drunk, again. When you're drunk, you're in control of your faculties. I know this because I'm a bartender. When you're drunk, you're in complete control of your faculties. Don't let anybody ever tell you, oh yeah, I don't know what I'm doing when I'm drunk. Bullshit. I've never been so drunk that I've been unable to stop myself from doing something. I've always been so drunk that I thought this will be funny. And if it turns out to not be funny, I go, oh fuck, my bad. And I do that when I'm still drunk. I'll go, fuck, I fucked up, my bad.
That one time you visited and we got drunk together, did I or did I not just start throwing like plastic things around my house like game cases?
Yes, and also I started playing catch with my mouth.
Yeah, okay. You were gone.
I started trying to toss like pretzels into my mouth and Skittles into my mouth.
I forget that you were more gone than me because even when I get my most fucked up, I'm still like...
I can't specify why. Do your context clues, folks. But when I went to visit Cullen, I was so out of it that I was just sitting on the sofa going, you can't break out of this shell that you have physically. Like there's like all of his friends are here and they're so nice to you and you're trying to do your best, but like, man, you're stuck in here. You're stuck in here with yourself.
Bro literally went meep.
I did go meep. But yeah, like no shade to anybody who drinks. I'm literally drinking right now. Full disclosure. Like it's just be responsible and be respectful. And if you're like a sloppy drunk, it's okay to be a sloppy drunk, just as long as you're not a sloppy drunk that like.
Yeah. Well, and if you are a sloppy drunk, you should know ahead of time to put yourself in a position to account for that, right? Yeah, or to have someone there that can account for that.
And also, you know what kind of drunk you are. You know whether or not that's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, you can get as drunk as you want as long as you're funny.
Yes,
that's a life lesson.
Yes, kids, but that also, and I'm only agreeing to that because people who are funny enough are also people who don't cross certain lines.
Yeah,
where it's like you're very funny and you're very rambunctious, but you're never going to smash my coffee table in half. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth of it. It's like there's a limit. Most people don't hit that limit, and that's something that you should be secure in. It's like most people don't hit. As a bartender, again for the third time, I know the difference. Most people will never hit the limit of no return of like, okay, man, you gotta chill the hell out. We very rarely ever throw people out for being too drunk because most people that drink regularly know how much is too much, and the people that don't are people who are not allowed to drink in front of other people because they get turned away. right? So you know your limits, you know how you get, keep that in mind. And that's it. And you'll be fine. And also, you know, sometimes some companies is more attuned to like your behavior than other company.
Yeah, I got to do a double check with all my friends to make sure that they didn't find the Metal Gear walking cringe.
I mean, even if they find it cringe, it's like you're having a party and you're all getting like inebriated and doing stuff. It's like, you know, it cringe is fine. Harmful is something else.
I don't. Chat, is it worse to be cringe or harmful?
If you
Genuine
embarrass
question.
yourself, I'm gonna hold it against you forever.
Yeah, see,
but
that's
like
the problem.
in the way that I'm gonna tease you about it. But like if you like break my shot glass, I'm never inviting you to my party ever again.
See, but then I buy you a new one, and then you go, oh, fine.
Well, then that makes it up. But again, but you know,
but you can never like you cannot make up being cringe and embarrassing. That's the thing.
That is true. Yeah.
Shame lives forever. I'm serious. This is genuine fear.
Don't worry about it, kids. Listen, just become.
You can never take it back.
Escape samsara. Become bodhisattva.
You cannot. No, that's cope.
Buddhism is cope.
It literally is cope. I don't know how to tell you this.
We gotta move on. Let's
Always that guy
talk
who's
about
the most
news.
cringe and embarrassing dude in the room with a lifetime of regrets. That's just like through like clenched teeth. It's like, you know, escape samsara, whatever. I don't even care. I'm one with nature. I don't even care.
Fuck you and Stacy left me. Oh, fuck. Oh, damn, dude, that sucks. How long was it ago? 15 years ago, man. It's like, okay, well, I mean, you know, maybe it's time.
Okay, you know, it's never that. It's someone who makes faux pas at parties.
Yeah, it's like this guy that breaks the rules.
Not even break the rules. I'm saying like faux pas. Like
that's breaking the rules.
No, like social rules. Like
faux
if you're going for
is party fouls, and a foul is breaking the rule.
Like you ever watch movies with someone that like thinks they're Mystery Science Theater?
Yeah.
I'm that guy.
But also isn't funny.
Like the Lord of the Rings. Okay. Did you know he broke his toe when he kicked the helmet?
Like the guy that's like, did you know that I read the wiki before we watched the movie?
Yeah.
Guys. Yeah. You're never going to believe what Sauron's about to do, and then Sauron does the thing.
Have you ever watched a movie with someone who like makes a joke every like 5 minutes?
Yes, I do it all the time.
Tries to be funnier than the movie, and you're like,
I do it all the time. I'm that guy. It's me.
See, but if you're funny, it's okay.
Well, I mean, if you're actually funny, like,
yeah.
The thing is that like, I'm gonna explain the phenomenon so that people realize this. The problem is that everybody wants to be that person, or a lot of people want to be that person. The problem is not when one guy is doing it, because if that one guy is doing it, he's doing it like every 15 minutes and it's one joke 15 minutes. And it's like, that's fine, right? That's like 10 jokes across the entire movie. The problem is when you have multiples of those guys and they're not vibing with each other. They're not interacting with each other.
Yeah.
They're not playing off each other's jokes.
They're not like participating.
If you have two guys who are like
humor.
competing versus participating with each other, that's real bad.
When it's bad. Because if you're the one that's left out, that sucks. But at least you can go, you know what? Everybody else is having a good time. I just think they're not funny. And you go, okay, you know, that's a me thing, right? But if it's like, if you can tell that two guys are trying to like one up each other in the comedy department, you're like, okay, now it's insufferable because I can't concentrate on the movie. And that's the secret, folks. You have to, and this is a trick you can all take with you. If you see a guy that's making jokes at the party and you see another guy making jokes at the party, it's risky. But you have to become one of those guys and you have to unite the comedy. You have to be the glue that turns it into a communal group thing of like, this is the energy we're bringing to this. This is what we're going to do. We've been in voice calls where we watch movies together where Cullen goes, you all have to lock in, and everybody shuts the fuck up. And we watch the movie.
I always feel bad about that because it does kind of give away that something cool is about to happen. But sometimes people just won't lock the fuck in.
No, you have to do it. You have to do it, especially with me. You have to tell me, especially if you've seen the movie before. You have to go, GC, lock in, because you're not spoiling it for me. You're telling me, hey, you are going to appreciate what's going to happen. You know, that's what that says to me. It's like, hey, you are going to appreciate the thing that's about to happen. And I know you appreciate stuff like this. So hold on real quick. Watch that whole thing and then make your jokes afterwards if you want to. Because there's people who will just joke the entire movie and not. Well, that's the other thing too, is like the comedy value differs and you can tell how much attention someone is paying to the movie. Where the joke someone makes changes depending on how aware they are of what they're watching. So like the guys that make the jokes every 2 seconds, but they're contextual and you're like, oh, this person actually like is paying attention to what's happening. Like those are better than the guy that's just like doing references to social media memes and trying to shoehorn them into the movie you're watching. It's so nuanced, ladies and gentlemen. Like it's so nuanced. It's so like deeper than just don't make jokes at the movie. It's like it's more than that. It's
being funny is complicated, but do it.
I don't know how anybody else feels about this, but like I watched a video. I sometimes I'll catch Red Letter Media videos, and they talk about the guy that they went to go watch a movie, and there was a guy with a slide whistle. And he would only use it at the specific moments where it was appropriate, and he never like overdid it. That's the guy you want to be, where it's like you understand the movie and you're including everyone in on the joke, because everyone else that's watched this movie before is like, yes, that would be so funny if that was like a thing that happened. Like that's the key, you know? But anyway, let's I don't know. We've already hit 2 hours. Do you want to just go into questions? I mean, we've only talked about Batman and Hathaway, but it was a great episode.
Yeah.
Do we have?
We have questions, but there is stuff we can talk about if you want to make it just a little bit longer.
Yeah. Either way.
What else is there to? Oh wait, hold on. The listener is scared as the 2-hour podcast got dragged out for up to 30 more minutes just now. Hayes, you just put out a review for a game that just came out yesterday.
I was going to mention that
this.
too, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so glad you remembered.
As the resident Disco Elysium fan of this circle of friends, and by circle of friends I mean podcast hosts. We're not actually friends.
Go.
Tell me about Zero Parades.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
It was funny.
What is wrong with you? Hayes is a nice person.
I don't think that was directed to me. I'll just say
it wasn't. Wah, wah. Wait, what's the slide whistle?
I do have slide whistles. I have 2.
That's the Super Mario World like death noise, I think. But anyway, so the most contentious game to come out this week.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, I totally reasons. Forgot that you have like a context for this, and I really want to hear about it. Go.
Yes.
Zero Parades.
Yeah.
Go.
So obviously, just get the hard part out of the way first. Like, it is somewhat difficult at times to untangle Zero Parades from the whole debacle
controversy
with
the Zaum
and Disco Elysium and the former creators essentially getting forced out. And
yes,
but I do still think that Zero Parades is worth evaluating as kind of its own thing to some degree, at least, because obviously the developers, by and large, that made this had no hand in anything that happened.
And also, Disco Elysium was made by a team of people.
Yes, exactly.
Not 3 guys.
Yeah.
Which, it's a... People got really mad at the, what the YouTuber, investigative reporters. What are they?
Coffeezilla?
People Make Games. No.
People Make Games.
People
big report
got
on
really mad at the People Make Games people for even implying that the situation was more complicated than it looked.
Yeah.
But it was.
It turns out, yeah, it is.
It is. Which, it's a nuanced thing where multiple people can be in the right or wrong for this.
Yeah. But like I put in my review, there's plenty of stuff out there that talks about that situation and breaks it down and reporting. And like, if you want to know about it, there's tons that you can go read and watch about it right now.
Yes.
So we don't need to go in depth on that. But for Zero Parades, it is in all essentially a spiritual successor to Disco Elysium. Like it is not connected narratively at all. It does not take place in the same world. It is not like that at all.
Totally standalone.
Yeah, but it does have mechanically a lot of the same ideas. It's very verbose and dialogue heavy. What was that?
Oh, I was like, you look at it. Like I played a bit of the demo.
The visual style is also obviously very, and there's also a lot of
UI.
There's a lot of talk about communism and capitalism and techno-fascism and so it's got all that stuff that Disco Elysium has. But
I do have a quick question about like the external situation about this.
Yeah.
Do you know who of the original team is like still worked on this?
I don't know specifically.
Okay.
No.
Because I just looking at it, I assume like probably like I think I'm trying to figure out. I think the artists
a non-zero amount.
Yeah, I do know that there was a set of people that joined Zaum after Disco Elysium because they loved Disco Elysium and wanted to work on whatever was next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but I know that like the quote unquote 3 people that were like seen as the creators are not there anymore. Yeah. But again, the authorship, it's like, you know, but the other big similarity. So like, you know, there's like Disco Elysium, there's not really action. It's all like dialogue focused. You're doing skill checks and dice rolls and things like that. And the big difference is that this is an espionage focused game. It's interesting because the setup is almost like the inverse of Disco Elysium, where you play a spy named Cascade who works for this organization called the Opera, which is essentially like Soviet Russia communist spy organization. And you fucked up 5 years ago. Like you did something really bad and you got your whole crew in trouble and they put you in the freezer, which is like desk work for 5 years. And then pulled you out and was like, we need someone, here's your last chance. So you go back to Portofino, the city that you're from. And part of it is you have to figure out what your assignment is. So you are a spy, you know who you are, but you don't know what you're doing. Versus Disco Elysium, where like you knew what you were supposed to be doing, but you didn't know who you were. So it's almost the inverse of that. But the other element there is like, on top of like the socio-political elements, this game is very much about the role that media plays in government and kind of control of society and how various styles of government use entertainment to kind of control the populace. And then through that, it also explores like regret and repentance and things like that. Because a big theme of this game is like, you really fucked things up 5 years ago, and you find out exactly how you screwed everything up, and like how bad it actually was.
Because hey, what happened 5 years ago?
That's why I say like it's a little hard to untangle the real life situation from this game. But so you know you're diving into how you really screwed things up, and a big part of the moral quandary of this game, I guess, is like, do you try and make up for that, or do you just abuse the situation more for your own needs to fulfill the mission that you're doing? And I think that, like, you know, I don't know exactly how to say what they are, but like the personalities, I guess that you would call them in Disco Elysium, the little like voices that pop up for the different kind of personality traits, right? I think that's used better in this game because they're all like kind of tendencies that you've developed throughout your career in espionage. So one is like statehood, which is your absolute devotion to the communist state. So it'll constantly interject with like, oh, you have to do this for the state. Like, screw these people. You know, they don't believe in the mission, that kind of thing. Or there's like personalism, which is kind of like emotionally relating to people, or gray matter, which is like an understanding of alien concepts, kind of. And there's a big kind of like overlying psychic theme to everything. So, but I think that the way that they integrate those personalities and kind of play off each other works a lot better because Cascade is kind of a defined character that you know who they are and you learn more about who they are, versus in Disco Elysium where you're kind of like this, you know, at first a blank slate, right? That you're kind of deciding who this person is. And it's a hard game to talk about in some ways, like Disco Elysium, because it's like, again, it's all dialogue based. So it really comes down to like, I can tell you the writing's good, but I don't know how to really like accentuate that.
Yeah.
You know? But I think it does I saw a couple reviews that were like, it's a good RPG, but not a good espionage game. And I don't think I agree with that, honestly, because I think that most interesting part of it is the espionage part, where you are playing this role of the spy, but like there's so many different, you kind of are deciding what a spy is in this context. And like the line between being a spy and being a person, and where does that blur, and does it blur? Kind of things like that. Kind of like is John Wick an actual person beyond being John Wick kind of thing? And I think that's a really fascinating exploration in a game like this, honestly, on top of all the other things that it dives into.
Sort of exploring like the character itself.
Yeah. I guess the last thing I'd say too is there's a character called the King of Trade that's a talking monkey, and he is the best character in the game. He is obsessed with the idea of bartering as like as an existence, essentially. Like existence hinges on trade, essentially.
Existence hinges on exchange.
Yes, he's phenomenal.
I love that.
Yeah. So that's kind of the big gist of it. So if you have any questions,
I love that.
I can answer them.
I don't really, because like I was gonna maybe try to play some a bit tonight. I bought it on launch because
have you played Disco Elysium?
Me?
Yeah.
Wait, Cullen, you played Disco Elysium? I know Hayes has played Disco Elysium.
No, that's why I said I'm the Disco Elysium guy of our group. I played and beat that game. It's the only CRPG I was ever able to beat.
Thank you for this information. I can recommend you CRPGs that are like Disco Elysium.
But I thought you didn't play it.
No, but okay, so I played one session. So like one play session, which is for me is like 3 to 4 hours. My question to Hayes is, are the mechanics largely the same? I'm sorry if you already said this, but I have to ask.
Yeah.
So is it still sort of the mechanics of like, if you fail enough times, it's just game over?
No, I wouldn't say that. This is more about like, it's very possible to fail. Like, you have all these different personality traits and they do skill checks. And
does it feel more lenient?
It does.
Than Disco Elysium?
But I think it's because a core part of this game, because again, like the whole, like, you fucked things up, a core part of this game is failure. So like you fail skill checks and it's more about like dealing with what happens because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is cool.
Okay. And there is a timer like there is in Disco Elysium, but it doesn't feel demanding. The only time it feels demanding is you get to the end of the game and there's a final mission that you do as a spy, and you have 1 day to do whatever you want before that mission happens. And that's the only time it really felt demanding in a way. And like there are events and characters that'll happen at different times of day, so you have to take that into account. But
it's kind of it's sort of like the irony of Disco Elysium, in which Disco Elysium, the reason I stopped playing is because I was scared that I was spending too much time talking to people, which as I know now is like kind of a non-issue.
Mm-hmm.
That game's way more lenient than it comes across.
Yeah.
I'll also say Zero Parades is like almost twice as long as Disco Elysium.
Which is interesting, especially if it's more lenient. Because that was I asked you about this after you put your review out. I was like, hey, how's that time system?
I never had an issue with the time system, I will say. Theoretically, maybe you can, but I did not have an issue with it.
Because like, I don't want to ask too much because I don't want to like
obviously
know too much, because like it's a bit exciting to see just another one of these.
I am interested in the idea of like, I want to see. It's so, I mean, we could talk about it if we want, but it's like, it's so I feel like it'd be beating a dead horse of like the complication between like the situation or whatever.
Yeah.
But I want to see what the entity known as Zaum does with that sort of idea.
Mm-hmm.
And like, Kazuma's not here, but I'll say it for him because he'll say it. He does not like Disco Elysium, for various reasons, mostly of the writing in it and the way it presents certain ideas.
I think there are fair criticisms to have.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think one of the good things about Disco Elysium, not as like a rebuttal to Kazuma's points, in that he doesn't like the way some of the ideologies are presented. One of the rebuttals to his point is that the game is very almost self-aware of the fact that it's sort of like almost a caricature of like those ideas, right? Like it's obviously more nuanced than that, and the game constantly signposts that. And that I felt within the first, like, I don't know how many hours that I played of it, where I was like, oh, this game is clearly self-aware of the fact that it's like, I mean, these are my words. Obviously, all of like the blatantly like pro-communist rhetoric here is like, not all of it, but like a lot of it is sometimes tongue in cheek of like, this is ignorant of like other things going on. And so it's like, it is an exploration of its own ideologies, which is what I find interesting about it, in that it is not necessarily, it knows what it wants to criticize, but it is also very aware of its own issues, right?
Yeah.
And I want to play more of it so I can explore more of that, because I did pick up on that. I did pick up on the idea of like, oh, if you went straight into the direction that the game sort of on the surface level wanted to be, you would kind of miss out on some of the more important details of the game, or you would kind of like squander certain opportunities. So it's not necessarily black and white. It's just so tongue in cheek that sometimes it can feel that way, right? At least Disco Elysium is. So I really want to play that, and I really want to get the Zero Parade, because I want to see what like, okay,
Zero Parades definitely has a similar element to that. There's a lot of tongue in cheek stuff. The game is legitimately very funny, I will say. I think the comedy is like quite good. And it does have that kind of similar self-aware tone that Disco Elysium had. But it's a little more subdued because it is trying to be like a spy espionage story at the same time.
And that's what I mean. It's like, I want to see what a setting like that and prose like that sort of comes across as when it's trying to take itself a little bit more seriously. Where it's like, it's still very much in the same brand as Disco Elysium, but it's like, okay, but like this time you're not like a schlubby, you're not playing like a schlubby cop. You're playing like, you're playing somebody with a little bit more gravitas, right? So that's fascinating to me. I'm glad that that's like sort of shining through.
I think that
obviously
the idea being like this washed up spy is kind of fun too, because there's not a lot of games that like, there's a fair amount of spy games out there, but there's not a lot where you get to be this kind of like spy that like just gotta fuck stuff up, and you're not very good at your job anymore.
The last one was maybe Alpha Protocol.
Yeah, like you used to be good at your job, but you're not anymore. You know,
you're kind of shit at it.
Yeah.
Well, what's interested me about this creatively is just like, oh yeah, like I would like to see what the people who stayed behind after making Disco Elysium, whoever they are, what they would do if like, I'd want to see like without those like head people.
What are they doing?
What would they do?
Like, to bring it back to the start of the podcast, this could be a two cake situation where, even though I think, yeah, that's a really complicated situation you all had to deal with, we could get a really good game here, a really good game there, both sort of like talking about things that should be worth talking about and interrogating within ourselves. And like, as a consumer, which is what I am, I'm a critic, but also I'm a consumer, is that, yeah, I could just have a two cake situation of like, oh, I have two really good games that explore two very similar trains of thought in different ways that I can kind of sort of get something out of. Like, I don't know, like, I think that's good to have, as long as Zero Parade like sort of achieves that goal.
And the thing is, like, I was expecting something like if this really was the soulless product that people were like worrying it would be, I feel like that would be reflected a bit in the reviews we've
writing.
gotten.
Yeah.
Well,
Or
no, though,
not.
like I don't know anything about the writing of the game itself, but like what people think about it, and it seems like people are relatively positive on it.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm sure we'll have endless conversations of like,
oh yeah,
which game has better writing. Some people will talk about that down the road, but
and to be clear, the controversy surrounding Zaum and stuff will definitely probably be in part of the reviews and stuff, and like in this specific case, with the Haze, you brought this up on Blue Sky the other day of like with Outer Worlds 2 of like the way that game sort of exists. You know, like that's definitely going to play into the game and how it's received and like how we view it. But all of those things are kind of relevant to what the game wants to talk about, and I feel is very important to talk about. But like, I still think like that's like, as long as it's worth talking about, it's productive in some kind of way, or like interesting at the very least.
Yeah. And I think it's, you know, it's pretty clear when you play it that it's not soulless. You can think what you want about it, but it's not soulless.
Yeah.
And I say this not as like I'm not someone who's like, oh, the people that made the game liked my review, it's, you know, but like I put my review out and I did talk about the situation a good bit in my review and directed people to like look it up and things like that. And on Blue Sky, like I don't follow anyone at Zaum, but a bunch of the people from Zaum liked and retweeted my review. So reposted, I guess. So I think like, and I'm not, it's not like I'm not excited about that, but I think it's interesting that they would do that. So
yeah, well, I mean, it is sort of like a confirmation of like the people that are making this probably do feel a certain way, and it's like one of those. Well,
regardless of not if they wanted to talk about it, like obviously they know what happened while they're making this game. So
yeah, like they're aware of the conflict.
Yeah,
and I think that's the thing that's like sometimes we forget, and sometimes that I think a lot of people forget is that like people make decisions based on their necessities. In a lot of these, especially nowadays, people are making decisions based on their necessities, and they are finding ways to exercise their beliefs and their autonomy and their ideologies after those necessities are settled. So you can have people that are still at Zaum who may even be sympathetic to the other party that is no longer with Zaum, right? Who still want to talk about the things that they want to talk about, but could not, were in a different situation than the people who distance themselves from it, who still want to talk about those things within the realms that they are still in. And so it's like you have to look at it this way, where you have to keep in mind that like most people are being exploited by some grander structure. And this is GC putting on his anarchist anti-establishment hat, but like,
oh, I've got a game you'd really like. Have you heard of Disco Elysium?
Oh my God. I've never heard of it before. But like, you know, like most people are ultimately exploited by the systems that are in play.
Yeah, I mean, you look at like all the shit that's happened with Ubisoft, you know?
I mean, yeah, like there is a new, I hate saying this word because people have run this word into the ground. But like there is a nuance to situations like this, not in the sense of like, oh, well, the corporation has some good points. No, that's not what I mean.
Yeah, let me play with my toys.
The people who are still working there, you know, are probably still working there, not necessarily because they disagree with the people who left, but because they have no other choice but to stay there.
And they want to make, they want to make stuff, you know,
and they want to express these feelings they had with their art.
Yeah. And like personally, if you ask me, it's like almost in any other situation, right? Almost in any scenario, I would be like, fuck this, I'm out. But that's because I have nothing to lose. There are people out there with things to lose. And you have to take that into account. And you can't just decide that anyone who's still there is there because, you know, they necessarily wholeheartedly agree with the choices made. Some people got bills to pay. Some people literally could not leave without risking a great deal of their like survival to it. And like, that doesn't mean that what they're talking about is tongue in cheek or like, you know, false or fake or whatever. It just has to do with the fact that it's like, we are subjected to the systems that are in play. And some of us really do have no choice but to make the best of the situation we're in. And that is sort of the messiness of it and the exploration of it and stuff like that. And you just kind of have to be aware of that if you're going to have an opinion on these sorts of things, you know?
Yeah, and at the same time, you know, like, if anyone really has looked at everything that's happened and thought about it, you know, they don't feel like they want to support zero parades, then I'm not going to criticize them for that. You know, it's a decision you can make.
Yep.
Oh, I see it as like there's definitely like worse like gaming hills to die on.
Oh, for there very much are, especially right
so
now.
Many.
Yeah.
There's so many black and white situations for you to be clear on that like the gray is like excusable. And I know some people will treat some things that are gray as black and white. Again, it's just you're not going to make anybody happy. You just have to kind of like do what you feel is right, but also look out for yourself because nobody wants you to sabotage yourself for the sake of something else. Nobody else would make that decision. And even if they would, they probably wouldn't blame other people for doing that. So there you go. Anyway, well, I think we can go to questions from here on out.
I think so.
Actually, I have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
How about that fucking Steam controller?
I have it right here in my hands.
I'm holding it in my hand right now as well.
I don't have one, but I keep hearing good things and it's tempting me.
Yo.
Everyone was like, I really look, I no shade against it, but I did notice that a lot of people saying that the controller was too expensive were also the people being like, I have a $20 like knockoff controller from Dinky Doink, the company that makes controllers with no cool features and is made of plastic, and that is it. And I think that's fine. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure, okay. But
I've had a Mad Catz controller before. I don't like them.
I just don't like controllers that feel cheap. It's why I think that the series controller is the weakest of all the main controllers right now.
Thank you.
It's why I also think that the people who hate on the DualSense are fucking crazy.
I totally agree.
And why I think that the Nintendo Pro controller is pretty good. Because I like controllers that feel like they're well made.
That's why I love the 360 controller for that exact reason.
Yeah, the 360 controller feels so fucking good.
It's also why the DualShock 3 is a pile of garbage.
It's not good. I like, you know, I'm one of those people in the unpopular opinion camp where I actually quite like the PS4 controller.
No, PS4 controller is great. It was a huge improvement.
Yeah.
The DualShock 2 is okay, and you would think, oh, then that would mean that the DualShock 3 would be good. And it's like, no, because they built the internals of that thing really shittily. That is just a piece of shit controller. Just a
give me 1 second. Just gotta get up real quick.
Pathetic controller. But
it weighs like half a pound too. You throw that thing without even knowing it.
You not even throw it. You toss that and it breaks. You just lightly toss it on your couch and it's like, oh, sorry, broken forever. But I did not have any qualms with the idea that the controller was like $90. Granted, I think it is that cost because the state of the world.
Yeah.
Ideally, this would be
largely the problem.
An $80 controller. Because here's the thing, it is nice.
Yeah, so in a world where Nintendo, I'm gonna throw other people under the bus here. In a world where Nintendo was not charging $80 for a Switch Pro controller too, or that Xbox or PS or Sony weren't charging $80 for their fucking controllers, this would be an $80 controller, and that would be a reasonable price for a controller that has thumbsticks, D-pad, face buttons, track pads, gyro-enabled grip, 2 back buttons. Like
by the way,
2 back buttons on each side. Yeah,
each
4 back buttons total. And by the way, they're positioned very well.
Oh, they're perfect.
They're very nicely done, and they're not flush with the controller, which I prefer. I do like. I'm kind of back and forth on whether or not I like them flush or raised off the back. But I've actually been using them more and more, and I actually quite like the raised buttons a little bit more because it gives me a better grip if I'm not using them on like a game.
Also, may I say as well, it also comes with a little dongle that just
Can I just okay?
it's made of magic.
This
You
is
plug it in and it works.
This is actually where I actually have more experience in this than anybody else right now. Okay, so before the Steam controller came out, before they put it on sale, I actually went ahead and bought 2 GameSirs. By the way, if you want an alternative, no, I'm gonna be legit here. If you want an alternative to the Steam controller, a GameSir is actually not too bad. I've been using the GameSir. I played the entirety of my Harvestella playthrough with GameSir, with a GameSir controller.
I thought you were the one who said the GameSir sucked. There's one of my friends who was like, "Oh, I got a GameSir, fucking sucked."
No. I've been playing with it. I bought 2. I bought one that emulates the PS4 controller. That's $20. And that, hang on, I got it right here. It's just on the floor because I haven't used it in a long time.
And by the way,
that is actually
I do have
really
no
good
qualms with the cheap controller alternatives, especially if you like them. I just have not found one that's like.
I'm gonna be straight up. GameSir is a pretty good company for this sort of thing. People will tell you, hey, skip this model, take this model. I have the $20 GameSir that's intentionally looking like a PS4 controller, and I quite like the feedback on it. The D-pad feels good, the face buttons feel good, the triggers feel good. But you probably want to use it for stuff that may not utilize a lot of analog trigger inputs because the triggers on these are digital, or if they are analog, they're very short, so the feedback you get might be inaccurate. So I ran into some issues with the $20 one, but I still recommend it for digital shoulder pad inputs. Right?
I think one of the only things I don't actually like about the Steam controller is that it doesn't have those like adaptive like triggers, because I actually really like that about the DualSense.
Yeah.
But
so the GameSirs that I have also have adaptive triggers and stuff like that. And this one I have a $60 one or like a $70 one, something like that. That's really good. But the problem, and we'll get to the Steam, and leads into the Steam controller, is that it comes with if you play it wirelessly, which you can, it has a little dongle, a little receiver, a Bluetooth receiver for it. If you play it wirelessly, it has a charge base that is as big as, I want you to imagine like a whiskey glass. It is about as big as a whiskey glass. This thing is fucking massive.
Yeah.
And honestly, it sits on my fucking desk and it's an eyesore and I don't like it. It gets in the way a lot. But the Steam controller is is $20 more for an extra set of controls, by the way. The GameSir has back buttons. The Steam controller has an extra set of back buttons, and it has the trackpads, which are really good, by the way.
They are based off of the Steam Deck ones, but better.
Yes, that they're an improvement on the Steam Deck trackpads, which were still really good, but I did find a lack of accuracy with the trackpads on the Steam Deck. This does not have that problem. This seems to have improved it a little bit, just enough to make a difference. The Steam controller has that fucking charging puck. The puck is as big as, like, I want you to hold out your thumb. Yep. There you go. That's as big as the puck is.
I forget it's there.
It's the size of your thumb.
When I turn it on, it just works. I go, okay, cool.
And the best part is that if you are playing wirelessly, you can play wirelessly, but if you want a wired connection, you don't have to plug it in to the wired port on your Steam controller. You can just magnetize the puck to the back of your Steam controller and use it as if it were wired. And then if you want to be wireless, you don't have to unplug it from the dock, from the port on the controller. You can just take the puck off. And I think the puck does a better job charging the controller than the cable does. I don't know that for sure. But yeah, this controller feels good. The way you hold it in your hand is exactly the way I hold controllers in my hands, which is to say, I like to sort of, I don't know how you hold the controllers in your hands, Hayes, Cullen, but like when I hold the controllers in my hands don't gravitate to the bumpers. They gravitate to the triggers.
Yep, mine too.
And they don't gravitate to the D-pad and the face buttons. Sorry, they don't gravitate to the control sticks. They gravitate to the D-pad and the face buttons. This controller people are going to think I'm crazy. This reminds me of the Wii U gamepad.
Oh, interesting.
But it has better grips.
But good.
Yeah, not as
so
cheap.
So like the Wii U gamepad, when
I hate the Wii.
it sucks. When you hold it in your hands, right? The Wii U gamepad, my experience with it is I like this. I like the way that my hands rest on this. I wish I had actual grips, and I wish that the buttons didn't feel so cheap.
Mm.
And I know that's a low bar. I know people, controller enthusiasts are going to be like, that's a really low bar. But this controller is very wide. But despite being very wide, they have contoured the grips in such a way that when you hold the controller in your hands, your hands naturally rest on either the control sticks or the face buttons and the D-pad.
Mm.
There is no, oh, this is my preference with controllers. I like it when a controller does this or that. The way they've contoured the grip, and this is my problem with the DualSense, where the DualSense has these like convex, it's a curve that pushes out that makes your hands sore after long use. Hades was a pain in the ass to play with this thing because it made my hands sore. These are not as convex. These are actually almost straight lines on the grips, and your hands can rest comfortably on either the control sticks or the D-pad and face buttons. The track pads come down. So when you want to hold the track pads, you kind of like instinctively like lean the controller downward, but not by much. And you can like use them very naturally, very normally, as if it were just a separate controller entirely. And all the back buttons are still within your grip. The only thing I'm going to give this controller a criticism for is that I don't think the gyro grip was well thought out.
I still don't really get it. Like, I don't get it. Adaptive gyro stuff.
Do you want me to explain it to you? Because I figured it out.
Okay.
When you're holding the controller like a controller, gyro grip is always enabled.
Granted, I think the only thing I tried to really use it for was
Marathon.
No, the Twilight Princess decomp.
So
which
yeah,
kind of probably had to.
So in order for the gyro to work the way you want it to, in the Steam settings under controller settings, when you have the Steam controller enabled, you have to set gyro to mouse motion.
Oh,
and I believe that is done per game, and I think
it's
that's
a bit weird.
And I think that only applies to Steam games. I'm sure there's a plug in there that'll let you set it for non-Steam stuff, or you just have to add the game. You know how Steam lets you add non-Steam games to your library? You just have to do that, and then when you load the game up, you can just pull up the overlay as if it were a Steam game to enable that stuff, right? And it'll behave however the game treats that sort of thing. Gyro control is enabled when you have the grip enabled. The grip is not a button, which I thought would be the case. I thought for some reason, and this is probably my own mistake, I thought for some reason you would grip the controller harder to push down some buttons inside the frame of the controller to turn on gyro. And I thought they would be somewhere near the ring and pinky finger resting positions, which are not the back button positions, right? Your ring finger rests on the lower set of back buttons, but your pinky finger and the tip of your ring finger are separate. So I thought it would be like along the spine at the bottom underneath the trackpad, like where the perimeter of the controller was. Not the case. It is literally proximity of your fingers to the controller. So if you were to holding the controller, wrapping your fingers around it, the grip, like you would a regular controller, right?
Yeah.
Gyro's enabled. You can tweak the sensitivity settings to free your fingers to basically just hold the controller with the palms of your hands.
How does it figure it out though? Is it the L and R buttons on the back? Like what is the grip?
The grip is literally a sensor between the two screw holes on the back of the controller.
Oh.
So you free your fingers from there and you just hold the controller in the palm of your hands as though you were just squeezing it with the two sides of your hands.
I get it now. That could be better. Like they could have a little like grip me sign.
So my problem is that the grip enables gyro, but everyone holds their controller like this.
Yeah.
And the gyro should be enabled by some sort of thing you do with your hands as opposed to being the resting position of your controller. So my thing is that when you free your fingers and you just hold it with the palms of your hands, right? And you're not putting your fingers on the back of the grips, that's when gyro should be enabled, right? But that's not the function. The function is when you let go of your fingers, when you stop gripping the controller and you just hold the controller in the palm of your hands, that's when gyro is disabled. I think it should be enabled when you do that. I think when you let go of the fingers and you put your fingers away from the controller, gyro should be enabled, and you just move the controller with the palms of your hands as if you were moving like some sort of, gyro, like a ball in your hands that you were just like moving around. Because that's more conducive to gyro movement. And also because the sensitivity options in the controller settings, you can change the sensitivity of how close your fingers have to be to enable the gyro.
Ooh, I gotta mess with all that stuff still.
Yeah.
Now I got a question. What do you like? Do you like the kind of matte Steam Deckian like plastic they're using compared to like do you have the Switch 2 Pro controller?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know how else to describe the plastic on the Switch 2 Pro controller, but you like have it in front of you. I think this is good, but when I play for too long, the like controller, like I feel like I get sweatier easily
on the Switch 2 controller. You mean?
Yeah, and I don't typically like. I'm not a big sweater when I game.
Can you do me a solid? I don't know how much use you've gotten out of your Switch 2 Pro controller. Hayes, if you have one, go ahead as well. Is the matte rough textured or smooth?
Smooth.
Yeah, I'd say smooth.
Okay. So the reason you feel sweatier on which one do you feel sweatier on?
Switch 2 Pro controller.
Okay, yeah. So the reason you feel sweatier on the Switch 2 controller
You're saying
is
I wore it down.
No, there's no friction on the controller.
Yeah. Okay.
So this could actually be. Sorry, everybody. You're gonna learn that GC knows things that. You're gonna learn that GC knows mundane things that actually become useful for this sort of thing. Your body. Do you ever wonder why, if you don't wear underwear, if you just naked, you sweat more, you feel stickier than when you wear clothes? It's because your clothes do something called moisture wicking.
Yeah.
And the friction of your clothes on your body wicks the moisture off of your skin and makes you feel drier, which is why your clothes smell when you're done using them, because you sweat and your clothes wick the sweat off and they collect the sweat and you stay dry. The matte finish on your Switch 2 Pro controller has no friction on it. So there's no moisture wicking. However, the Steam controller, you can feel it right now if you have it in your hands, it's a rougher texture. So there's more moisture wicking. So the trade-off is your controller will probably be a little grimier. Your Steam controller is probably going to be a little grimier.
Collecting all your skin.
But your hands are going to be less sweaty. So your hands feel drier. The controller does not. So all that means is just clean your controller.
Yeah, which you should do.
Yes, which everybody should do, no matter what kind of controller you're using. But that's the reason. That's why the Switch 2 controller feels sweatier the longer you use it in the heat.
Which reminds me, when I got my controller in, we were playing the Twilight Princess decomp, me and my roommate. And he was like eating a bag of like salt and vinegar chips. And he was like, let me grab that controller. I'll give it a go. And I was like, not before you wash your hands.
Absolutely not.
You wash your hands.
He was like, fair. And I was like, and I knew he would, but I was like he's going for the controller.
Just a funny fucking moment. I'm like,
I was like, maybe like, a year in, I'll let you touch it like that, but we just unboxed this.
Let me wear and tear this motherfucker up a bit. Jesus. But yeah, like it's a good controller. I also really like that the trackpads are on a lowered bed on the rest of the controller, so that it feels like a separate function, which it should be. Very similar to the Switch 2's like mouse controls on the Joy-Cons, where it's like it feels like a different mode. The trackpad should also feel like, oh, I'm playing a game that like needs mouse controls, right? Like that's the other thing that I think a lot of people like who may be wondering, like, is it worth it? It's like, if you play a game that behaves predominantly with mouse controls, and you're not using your face buttons that often, the trackpads are actually a really good option if you just still want to use a controller without using a mouse and keyboard. Because, like, let's be honest, I'll be totally honest with people. I'm a PC gamer predominantly. I mean, you can ask Cullen. I barely ever touch my consoles.
Yep.
Having a controller that mimics mouse controls is really good. For a lot of the games that I play, because sometimes a lot of the games that I play are literally just mouse control stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So this is where I admit that I don't know if I don't think I've played around with it enough to find these settings, but the one thing I will say is that I think the trackpad DPI should be higher. I know this controller is basically made for I'm assuming it's made for people who play first person shooters. That's what these like trackpads are for, where it's like, oh, you get mouse precision on a controller, right? That's the appeal. And first person shooters are better played with lower DPIs. That's like a whole scientific thing they've done like research on. It's like lower DPIs are better for first person shooters because you get more exact aiming. You would think a higher DPI would do that, but actually higher DPIs make the motions that you do more inaccurate, whereas lower DPIs allow you to actually like move to where you intrinsically want to move the mouse to. So that's like a hint. If you ever struggle with FPSs, you might not be bad at them. You might just be using too high of a DPI on your mouse. My only thing is I wish I could increase the DPI settings on this, and I have not found a way to do that yet in the internal Steam settings. Maybe I missed something. If I could make them more sensitive, I would appreciate it, because I don't play FPSs. I play stuff on mouse and keyboard that requires me to navigate a UI, like 4X games. And I would appreciate it if when I move my mouse, my thumb across a trackpad, I can move across the entire screen as opposed to like half of it.
It seems like it'd be good for like first like point and click adventure games, stuff like that.
Yeah, like stuff that doesn't require like super fast input or like not a whole lot of input. Yeah, sure.
Granted, so the one thing I really like the controller. It is probably one of the like least necessary controllers I have ever bought in my life. This is not a need. Like if you're playing PC games, there's a chance you are already using your pre-existing game controller from another console on it, and that will get the job just fine. I bought it mainly because I like playing my Steam Deck on the dock, and it is a nightmare to set up other controllers on that, like with the Steam Deck, and this is plug and play. But
I would also like to point out the Steam controller does have haptics on the triggers. It just the game needs to be aware of them. That's all.
Wait, and so you'll get like resistance?
I'm almost certain, yes. You can actually even toggle the intensity of the haptics.
I gotta see about that then.
Yeah. It's a little rough. The tweaking is a little rough. Plug and play is great, but if you want something specific, it takes a little bit more.
This seems like it'd be fun for Death Stranding. I might.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm currently like looking for a thing to like the perfect game, and honestly, that might end up being Zero Parades because of the cursor stuff.
Yeah. Again, if you don't want to pay $100 for a controller,
you do not.
We get it. You don't need it. You trust me. You don't need it.
I got caught up in the hype of it when everyone was going to buy it, and I was like,
I'm just a sucker for like I really like the Steam Deck trackpads. So, and also you can use it to navigate your PC if you wanted to. Like, I'm just a sucker for like this kind of like functionality on a controller, because I'm actually developing a problem in my wrist, and the controller actually sort of alleviates that problem. But the point is like, if you just want a controller and you don't care about mouse, keyboard, mouse input, I actually do recommend the GameSir brand. I own two of them. I've been using one for a really long time before this one came in, before the Stream controller came in the mail. I'm really happy with it. It feels good. I forget what it's called. It's like the newer. You can like look up on Reddit. You can just do like GameSir recommendations Reddit, and like one of the two ones that they recommend is the one that I ended up getting. Actually, wait, I think I can see on the product model number, the GameSir T4N Pro. That's the one that I use. And that actually has like different settings for the triggers independently, by the way. That'll change the behavior of like the triggers and how far they reach and all that. That'll be fine. That will run you like a little less than the Steam controller, and minus the trackpads, it basically, and the gyroscope, it basically has all of the functionality that you would want out of a controller and feels good in your hands, and the buttons feel good and are way better than any fucking Xbox Series controller you could buy. Don't buy the Xbox Series controller.
Fucking.
I bought an Xbox Series controller because someone was like hyping the fuck out of it, and then I bought it and I had it in my hands and I pushed a face button and I was like, this feels like a Mad Catz controller, and I'm not even exaggerating.
I only have a Series
like
controller because I got a free one at Armored Core 6 preview event. And
I had one with my my used Series S when I bought it, and I was like, this is the most average controller ever made.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even kidding. I've owned plenty of Mad Catz controllers and had friends who owned Mad Catz controllers growing up. That Series X's face buttons feel identical to like a $20 Hori Pro like Mad Catz controller. Like, those are some of the cheapest plastic you will ever buy for way too much money. Buy yourself a Game Sir for the same amount of money you would buy a Series controller and be infinitely happier. Some of them are compatible with Xbox as well. Like just like, if you're gonna spend that kind of money on a new controller, which is the base price of a controller nowadays, buy a Game Sir. You'll feel way better. It sounds like a scam because the fucking name of the brand is Game Sir, and it's like, this seems like the most like knockoff thing ever. I am deeply happy with my purchases. Trust me. Like yeah. Not an ad. I feel like I gotta point that out. I'm not advertised or sponsored in any way.
But okay, I guess we can do some questions.
Let's go.
Alrighty, let me scroll through these, see what we got. I cut all this part out because I gotta actually make sure which, because I don't remember what the hell we answered last episode.
We stopped at, I actually remember. We stopped at the I
think the closed question.
The what? No, we stopped at the aux cord question.
Yeah.
Or the
we talked
100 line question.
Yeah, we talked about sauce. And we talked about what instrument you would be. We did that.
We talked about what instrument.
And then it's the closed question.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one we start with. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right. So question time. Snigs asks, Burnouts, I need to stop fucking wearing graphic tees all the time. What should I wear? Note, I have V-necks, polos, because they feel like V-necks. Bonus, why did you decide you had to stop dressing the way you did in high school? I'm a big fan of the Henley. I think Henley shirts are pretty cool.
Henleys are so good.
But what I've kind of started to do,
oh my god, you've earned so much respect from me just now.
Yeah, I know. Is that I fuck with the cooler cousin of the graphic t-shirt, and that's the band shirt.
That's a graphic tee, motherfucker.
Yeah, but it's like a graphic tee that's cool and everyone can tell it's different.
Okay, wait, hold on. I want to do a vibe check here. We all heard graphic tees and we all thought of the same shirt, right?
The Zelda one, yes. Yeah. But also what I like doing is I like God, so where I buy all of my nice shirts is either at Hollister or Uniqlo, and I'll get just a plain one color shirt that just looks and feels very sturdy and nice, and then I just pair that with
so you start with one piece and then build out from there.
Yeah, and then I'll wear a baggy like I got cargo pants, or I got skinny jeans, or
You're tall, so baggy clothes on you look really good.
Yeah,
which is why I can also kind of get away with the the graphic tee sometimes, is if you pair the graphic tee with some really nice baggy pants, it becomes an outfit.
alternatively, when you take the graphic nature of the tee to the nth degree and you go, well, graphic pants, graphic jacket.
I was gonna say graphic
Persona 2
piss
button up
pants.
is. I like the graphic.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
a pink shirt that's it's a like a with the buttons just at the top, and it's pink and it has Godzillas all over it, like legally distinct Godzillas, but still.
Yeah, like if
The
you,
graphic
so,
dress-up shirt is a good choice, and then I like to have a nice styled light jacket on the top.
I like wearing a bomber jacket.
Bomber jacket's good.
If you ever catch me at like Mag, I have a
man,
series
he's
of
obsessed
different.
with those.
I have a series of different bomber jackets, that have just like all different kinds of designs. M-Rage is pretty good. Boom Slank, I have a couple of those. Like I'll get the bomber jacket with like the cool like mecha stuff on the back, and it's like, it's technically like copyright distinct robots, but I literally had someone walk up to me at a Target and be like, "Where'd you get that Gundam jacket?" And I was like, well, technically it's not.
That Godzilla shirt I have, in the last like 5 months, I've gotten at least 24 compliments on it, honestly.
So that's the key here is that it's not necessarily your problem, Snigs, is not that you're wearing graphic tees all the time. Your problem is that there's you got to find graphic tees that are sort of like tasteful.
Yeah.
Right.
And you got to find the color that works for you
big.
too. Like you got to find a few colors that really work for you.
And that's another thing. Yeah. Like it's like you have to find graphic tees that fit within the things you look good in. For instance, I don't know about any of you, but I look terrible in white. I actually look really bad in white.
Yeah.
And see, Cullen doesn't, right? Like there's, and Hayes probably.
I think I look fine in white, but I think
thing.
orange is really bad on me.
Here's the thing about white. White shirts only look good unless they're like really baggy. Like a really big white t-shirt with like a cool, like tasteful design. Oh, it's rare though. Like it's
white is
very hard to pull off.
I think white is legitimately hard to pull off if you're a white guy. I'm just gonna put it out there. The way that a white t-shirt blends into your skin as a white man, you look like you don't exist.
You got to pair it with something.
Whereas,
you can't
I'm just gonna say it, on black people, white is such an amazing color because the contrast is just so nice to look at, and it just stands out, and you look great in it. I'm just saying it. That's just the way it is. Sorry, I think you just got to deal with that.
White needs to be paired with a very specific color of pants, and that color is gray.
Gray's good.
I see that. I don't agree with that because a white t-shirt with like khaki pants will go fucking hard as fuck.
Okay, khaki's also good. I'll give khaki is another one.
Khaki and gray. Yeah.
And I also think a totally white ensemble, again, depending on what you look like, it looks great. And if you get a white guy wearing all white, I suspect things, or I think you're a santera. But if you're a black guy wearing all white, I think that looks good as fuck.
Yes. I will also say,
I'm just going to be honest.
You can do a white shirt with black pants, but then you pair it with like a black jacket. Something.
Yeah.
Well, again, because you created the contrast.
You gotta be tasteful in how you pick.
I know that sounds weird to say, but like, yeah, the color of your skin will sort of like help you figure out, like, you want to contrasts look nice depending on how you build them. But that's just the nature of it, right?
Is there a color shirt you would never wear?
Yes. What's
the worst
in yellow?
Shirt?
Yeah, or it's orange.
I do not look good in yellow.
Yeah.
Yellow's a bit hard.
Orange. I look great in orange. I look terrible in yellow.
Yeah.
Yellow I wouldn't normally do.
Green is something I just don't look good in.
See, I can do green. Green works for me.
And see. So that's another thing you got to keep in mind, folks. Is like the way you look like. Everyone looks different. Like no one's gonna like. I'm sorry, but everybody looks different. Like
mm-hmm.
the
that's
like
very brave. No one's ever said that before.
Oh wow, he's really telling the truth.
He's spitting. Speak on it, King.
Wow. Like you're going to look different from one. Even white guys are going to look different from one white guy to the next. But the white guys that stand out are the white guys that understand that it's like, oh, I look good in blue. Oh, I don't look good in pink. Oh, I look good in brown. Oh, I don't look good in white. Oh, I look good in yellow. Oh, I don't look good in orange. Like you just have to kind of, a lot of this whole like, oh, what do I wear instead is sort of just exploring things you're interested in and just checking to see if it looks good on you and deciding whether or not you're okay with the way it looks. Like I cannot tell you, hey, you look bad in this color, unless I'm like somebody that's like known you for a bajillion years and I know you intimately and like I can be honest and like this is my opinion. But even then I can't stop you from wearing whatever the fuck you want. I have a friend that looks terrible in Hawaiian shirts. Guess what? All they wear is Hawaiian shirts. I can't stop them, because they like the way they look in Hawaiian shirts. That's it. Mm-hmm. So you have to kind of play around with your style basically if you want to break away from the graphic tees. I wrote it here. I will read it again for the podcast. I settled on my look when I was 24 and 25. I like overwear. That means stuff that you put over your shirt. But I also like thin layers, so I settled on cardigans. Cullen will tell you all I do is wear cardigans. I just have a different cardigan for any situation. Fitted cardigans, loose cardigans, big cardigans, short cardigans. Like I just have different cuts of cardigans. I looked better in tapered fitted cuts, so all my jeans and chinos are slim or skinny fit. If I accidentally order a pair of pants that are like regular fit, I lose my fucking mind because I look terrible in regular fits because I have very skinny legs. You might not have skinny legs. You might have power legs. If you have power legs, regular fits just fine. Skinny fits would probably make you look like a muscle dude, and you might not want to look like that. Again, it just depends on what you're looking to do to look like, right? If you don't want to do tees and you don't want to do graphics, again, you can go to you can do tasteful graphics where I have a friend, Heavy Eyed. He's a YouTuber. He likes graphic tees, but he likes understated graphic tees that look almost like regular t-shirts that just have the graphic is basically like if it would have been a logo, right? That's his thing, right? Or like the graphics on the back so that like most of the shirt is very understated. That's kind of the stuff that he likes to do. He did I think he sold a shirt once that did that because that's what he liked. Those things you can do, but if you don't want to do any of that, colors have patterns, solids, stripes, plaid, flannel, polka dots, waves,
striped.
Oh,
good stripes. Oh, love stripes.
A good striped shirt. Oh my God. Like a plaid shirt, a flannel shirt, polka dots. There are so many patterns you can try.
Genuinely, right? Just okay, look up, get an Instagram account and just look up photos of guys.
You can
it's good. I mean, it's not bad advice, honestly.
And then just see look at how they build outfits, and you don't need to copy the outfits, but you can go through your own wardrobe and then see what do I got?
Yeah.
Also if you want to build a nice outfit on the cheap, fucking go to H&M. Hit up H&M at your mall. Their prices are pretty good and they have a lot of
section.
Yeah. Because I think as well, it's if your worry is that, I have all these graphic tees, then just get some plain clothes of a single color. It'll do you a lot of good.
So much.
And because they're good with a lot more different pants combinations. Just getting some basic shirts.
You might feel weird thinking, if I just wear a basic shirt, that'll be basic and people will think I'm basic. You would be surprised how few people just wear a basic t-shirt. If you just wear a basic red t-shirt, I guarantee you will stand out and look better than most people. And I'm not saying that to besmirch those people. I'm saying that most people are so allergic to just wearing a solid colored shirt that you will look good by comparison. And unfortunately, that's just how it's going to be. And that's just the way people sort of, evaluate people's outfits. You're just going to have to deal with that. It's a very shallow thing, but it's as long as you're aware that it's a shallow thing and it doesn't really matter that much, then you're in a good headspace for it.
I'm itching now to go buy another plain colored shirt.
Also, straight up, go thrifting. Go thrift store shopping. Go to the Goodwill. Go to whatever thrift store, whatever thrift store you prefer to go to. I used to go to when I lived in Orlando. in Florida, I used to go to a LGBTQ thrift store that what all of your purchases would go towards HIV charity, to an HIV like fundraising, whatever, to HIV research. And I would buy clothes from there. And a lot of my outfits are just straight up pulled from those racks. A lot of my outfits are pulled straight from Goodwill racks. You can buy a really nice shirt for like $4. Goodwill, even like the really, really nice stuff is still at a heavy discount at Goodwill. Just do that. Just go to thrift stores and go look for stuff. I promise you it's clean. They wash everything. Even if they don't and you're feeling like self-conscious, go ahead and wash it anyway when you bring it home. I used to do that anyway, even though I had a friend who worked at Goodwill and was like, yeah, we wash all the clothes. Like that's actually like just like part of the job. Like we just wash
there's
the
no
clothes
reason
like
not
we ourselves
just give an extra wash.
Yeah. Wash it on hot.
Yeah. Like go ahead and just wash the clothes. But again, deviate from the graphic tees, look for patterns of colors. Once you've picked the colors that you like, once you've experimented with colors that you like, or rather once you go with patterns that you like for instance, I really love stripes because they make me look taller. Full disclosure. I like stripes because they make me look taller. Then you go to colors and there's a lot of different color palettes. Go look at Animal Crossing, pastel, earthy, basic, bright, pale, muted. You can do so many different color palettes and you can investigate what you like. I've found that I actually look really good in earthy colors. Vivid, bright colors look okay on me. Pastel colors look really good on me. Really aggressive colors don't look as good on me as like the more like pale colors. So I stick to paler colors, less vivid colors, more like, your powder blues, your like chalky reds. Like that's sort of the color scheme that I adhere to because I think I look good in that. Right. From there, you go with cut. If you like shirts with deep collars, you like V-necks, you like polos, obviously those are deep collars. Those are collars that extend into your chest. I hate those. I don't like V-necks. I don't like anything that I can't button up to cover my chest because I'm very self-conscious about my chest hair because I have a lot of it if I'm not shaving. So I wear t-shirts or I wear long sleeve shirts or I wear button-ups that I can button all the way up. But because you like deep collars, get a button-up. Literally just get a button-up. Button-ups are great because you can determine how far down you want to leave them open. And the lower you go, the different a style it is. So every button is a different stylized version of the shirt you're wearing. You can even unbutton the bottom ones and button the tops to look like a I don't know, I was gonna say this, but I realize you're probably white, so I can't say this without being offensive. But there's a certain style in certain cultures where they button up the first three buttons, in Hispanic cultures, and they leave the bottom ones open, and that looks really good. But not on everybody. But again, like you have versatility in the button up, right? Like you have versatility in the button up, right? There's a lot of jokes about button ups, but like honestly, the button up is like very versatile. Just please, like you got to be tasteful with it. You got to be smart about it. Don't put, please, like I know you really want to. Don't wear your graphic tee with something that doesn't match color wise. I feel like most importantly, keep to a basic color scheme.
Yeah.
Please do not wear yellow with like, I don't know, help me out here, like white and like red. Don't wear like a solid white t-shirt. This is so hard to do because I'm so used to like complementing colors that it's like I have to find a way that this doesn't work. Don't wear like a white solid t-shirt, a yellow jacket, and then like I don't know, like bright blue pants. But maybe that'll look good on you. I don't know. You got to try stuff out. Try stuff out. Or do what I do, which is what I've started doing, which is find a character from a video game you like and go, what would be like a modern outfit that this person would wear with these colors? And I know that sounds silly, but like a lot of times artists design their outfits for characters based on like existing color palettes and stuff that looks good together. So you can just design an outfit based on that construction, and you'll probably have an outfit that stands out or at least looks good. There you go.
All right. Similarly, another question from Adam Scott.
I know way too much about like clothing stuff because I used to get criticized on it a lot, so I changed my tune.
Let's see. Tier list of Burnout Culture host who would look best in a suit.
Me.
Yeah.
I think we'd all look good in a suit.
do. Yeah, but
best. This is about best. It's me.
Okay.
It's
you
me.
prove
I
it?
have a picture that can prove it.
The only time I dress up in a suit is like lately has been when I've had to go to like a funeral, so like I don't have photos from it.
I think I'm okay.
You wear suits to
I
funerals?
used to have
Damn.
to wear a suit at the movie theater I worked at. That was the dress code for managers.
Well, you know, you wear like a blazer and like a button up and some like nice pants.
That's a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying like, so I'd be dressing.
It's me. It's me because I have the most experience wearing a suit. Because I think out of all of us, I've worn a suit the most often.
See, you don't even know that.
I wore the Kiryu cosplay more often than anybody here.
Well, that's just because Kaz isn't here.
I've worn Kos wore it one time. Okay, I've worn it multiple
know that.
times for things, and then I also wore it to my cousin's wedding.
I want to say
Because I
Kaz
didn't
is
have anything
number
else to wear.
1, and then GC, just because it would make GC really mad for
You
him
know
to be
what?
number
No,
2.
I'll give it to Kazuma in that Kazuma would probably look better in a suit, but that's because he wears more risky outfits.
Yeah.
Like outfits that may not pay off. Like he takes more chances on outfits, so he would look better in a suit just by facto of being more confident in it because he's more used to wearing stuff that's not his typical wardrobe.
Mm.
So I'll give it to him.
I could see that.
He'll have to defend his title next time he's here.
Yeah.
All right. Now, next up, Buster asks, boyos, what's your favorite I need to log off from social media hobby? Exercise.
That's a good one.
Good one.
See, when someone's like really annoying online over drama that doesn't fucking matter, I just go lift weights and I go, oh my God, I'm normal.
I don't know who you're calling out.
No, it's everything. There's always some fucking drama.
There's always something
where it's like, did you hear?
You're not mad at a person. You're mad at a
system.
general sort of like behavior.
Did you see what Bleeble said to Meebe? And I go,
Who the fuck is that?
please go
Who the
outside.
fuck is that?
Yeah.
I don't know who this is.
This drama don't mean anything.
That happened to me today. Everyone was vague tweeting about things. I'm just like, I genuinely
Oh
have
my
no
God.
idea what anyone's talking about.
I know what everyone was talking about in the last couple of days, and I'm like, it's like this is a nuanced thing, and I'm like, please log off. Please just log off and go outside.
I want to make clear. Listen, everybody.
Go
Listen.
outside.
We all have this. None of us are trying to act more smug than anybody else here. Everybody, I'm sure you all have. Anyone listening here has had that experience before, but like it is true. Like there's sometimes most of us, I would say, most of us are too preoccupied with other stuff that sometimes we catch wind of something, and we'll post it in the Discord that we do this podcast in, and we'll be like, "What's going on? What's the context? Can someone explain this to me?"
We do that. Yeah.
I just
don't know what the fuck
there's some
happened.
things that like, did you see that this user on Blue Sky shot themselves in the foot 500 times? Let's talk about this. And I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want anyone to feel ashamed for taking interest in something that's going on. No,
But,
I know.
I feel like everybody synonymizes with this, where it's like sometimes there's some shit that's going on that you're like, I have
Sometimes
no
shit
idea
just
what
don't
the
matter.
fuck is happening.
it
That
just,
fucking Donald Glover gif of like bringing in the pizza,
Yeah.
and, like the place is
Oh,
on
yeah.
fire.
I'm
And
just
you're
like,
like, what the fuck occurred? If you ever have that experience, congratulations. You're not online that much.
I will say
You
with
gotta
Pat
the
yourself on the back.
with the question, I like something that I can like engage my brain in. So like building something like Legos or Gunpla models or
Ooh,
even a
yeah.
puzzle. Like when I've just had enough of social
Something
media.
productive.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing you're gonna do for yourself or for the world by scrolling on social
Yeah.
media. That is just fact. You're not doing anything.
I either indeed go build model kits like Big Hay said, or I will go exercise like Cullen said, or sometimes I get the when I feel that way, I go, I just like leave. I leave
Oh,
the
yeah.
house.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
I
for
don't have
sure.
blue sky
Yeah.
on my phone.
Even just
So,
taking
so
a
I
walk.
just leave the house and I disappear.
Go make yourself a coffee.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
go buy a coffee. Go
I highly recommend you take social media off your phone. I know some of you need it for work. If that's the case, then
Yeah.
so be it. But like, if you don't need it for work, you can take it off your phone and then just come back and check it when you get home. Like,
I feel I'm annoyed because I did that with Twitter near the end of me using the site, where I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm just gonna take this off my phone because the notifications piss me off.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have Blue Sky installed on my phone because I still enjoy browsing that site more. It's just that I don't get enough notifications for it to be a big enough deal. But I be scrolling sometimes, but like I know when I have to be like, no, I cannot. The people in my phone are being annoying, and I need to go do something else. You know what? Like, go run an errand. Go go do your laundry. Go buy groceries. Go for a walk in the park. Message someone you care about. Ask, go for a coffee with someone you care about.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's going to be someone like, oh, why didn't you know that I don't drink coffee? And I'll be like, you got to shut up. You're too online.
I want to kind of like synonymize that with like being like, hey man, like you can disengage. Like, I know how hard it is to disengage. Speaking from experience, I know how hard it is to disengage. Make the steps when you are able to disengage, so that when you are unable to disengage, there's no option for you to engage. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So delete this shit off your phone, but also, just like I think a lot of people, I don't know, this is too much. Just what Cullen said, just do that.
This shit don't matter. It's all fake.
This shit don't matter, but like at the same time, it's like if it starts to matter to you and you evaluate that as like, oh no, wait, this should actually matter to me, then do whatever you want. But even if you succumb to the social media patterns, right? Endeavor to not succumb to the social media patterns. I'm not going to hold it against you if you succumb to the social media patterns, but expect, number one, the randos to come after you, and two, try to make an effort not to if you find yourself in that situation a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Next question.
All right. Next question. Let's see. Bram asks, we always talk about animals we could beat in a fight, but what animals do you think could be powerful allies? An eagle, like on my arm.
I was gonna say actually, I was gonna say a sparrow, because I think the little birds that are fast that can like just poke the shit out of things.
Hayes knows what's up.
Yeah.
Hayes knows what's up. Eagles are fickle motherfuckers, but a sparrow will do whatever the fuck you tell it to do. Hey, pick
I think
that
an eagle could be
you
useful too. I was just thinking small.
I was thinking birds. Gonna be so uppity about it.
I feel like the eagle would be really cool because you just be like get them, and it would like land back on your arm after it's like defeated your enemies for you.
You want like a falcon or a hawk that'll dive bomb an enemy while you keep it preoccupied.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, that's the ticket.
I also feel like if you needed like a sea animal as a friend, like a manatee would be pretty good.
Manatees are so. I used to live in Miami. Manatees used to be everywhere. Manatees are so precious.
Mm-hmm.
I love manatees. I wish I could have a pet manatee, but I can't because they're not domesticatable.
I'm trying to think about like cool pets I'd want to have. Bear.
If you were friends with a bear, you would be golden.
Mm-hmm.
I had an era of my life where I was just thinking about like, it'd be
a bear
awesome.
could beat a lion.
Oh yeah, 100%. It could.
A bear that's my friend. That'd be
you'd
so
be good.
sick.
I would want to be friends with the polar bear because a polar bear is the best bear, and that would be the most powerful ally because it has the strongest stats.
Penguin would be pretty chill.
Penguins are my favorite.
I mean,
animal.
that's like your hangout friend, right?
Yeah.
Like that's like the penguin is like in the boxing anime. I've been watching a lot of Ashton Joe, reading a lot of Ashton Joe. Sorry. The penguin would be like your corner, your second, and it'd be like, you got it, kid. You got it, kid. Be rubbing your shoulders, be like, you got to get him with the cross and then the uppercut in the next round, all right? Then you got it. You win this. And you're like, thank you, penguin friend. And he's like, my name's Chad, but I really wish you would stop calling me penguin friend. I have a name.
He's the guy, like, you get home from work and he'd be on the couch and be like, how's your day?
Yes.
How's your day? It's pretty good. You want to
I ordered a pizza.
I ordered you a pizza. Got your favorite, just cheese. Simple, no fuss.
I would be a bit insulted, I won't lie, if it was a just cheese pizza. I'd be like,
I'd be okay with that.
I was like, I want a little bit of roni. Because
Hell
you have a little roni.
Pepperoni's such a shit ass meat.
No, what? You get that premium pepperoni. That's
I like toppings, but every once in a while, just a cheese pizza just hits the spot. Like just cheese.
But I like my
the
pizza
simple...
dipped in ranch and
when I get home tired from like a 12-hour shift, I don't want a meat lovers. I
don't want a meat lovers. I want
pizza.
Pepperoni. And I want a cup of ranch and the combo of the pepperoni, the cheese, and the meat,
access to
the
bacon.
Marinara.
You have access to sausage.
I don't
you
want
have
that.
access to so many other meats, and you went with pepperoni.
Okay. I will cross.
What's
bacon,
the matter for you?
Sausage, I will combine those three meats, but I do think it's a bit excess. Ideally, you have two. You have the pepperoni and bacon, or the pepperoni and sausage, or the sausage and the bacon.
That is true, because my go-to pizza, if it's not a cheese pizza, it's a supreme pizza, which is black olives, green peppers, onions, bacon, Italian sausage.
See, the thing is, I like a simple pizza. I just think you need at least like one thing, so that one thing can really be elevated in it. It's just that I think like cheese is like fine, but it doesn't give me the flavor profile I really want out of a pizza.
You're so wrong.
Okay.
You're so wrong. We're going to fight about pizza later.
Grow up.
See, you want to start a fight now,
Grow
but
up.
I'm a professional. I will wait
Grow
until later. Other animals. Real quick. Just one more. One more. Because I'm a basic motherfucker. Wolf. A wolf.
Oh.
A wolf friend. A little like companion wolf. A dire wolf that I could ride. And he could also help me in fights. That's it. That's the dream. He makes like weird faces at me when I like fail at flirting with ladies. Like that's they're so expressive. The wolf,
Wolves are
I'm
pretty
thinking of the Werner Herzog video about chickens. The enormity of the stupidity of the chicken. They have no brains. Sorry. It's very easy to hypnotize a chicken. Something that I have included in my films.
That guy knows his voice is funny.
Oh, yeah, it's like Christopher Walken. Like, I'm sure he knows too.
Like he's
Johnny,
definitely
your car, it's alive. Wow.
Like, have you seen you said Werner Herzog? Whatever his
Werner Herzog, yeah.
Yeah, have you seen him in the episode of Boondocks?
No.
He just
talks.
They use him with purpose.
All I remember from the Boondocks, I've watched a lot of episodes, but the one thing that I remember to eternity is Harambe, Harambe, Harambe. Anyway, next question.
Our last question. Sleepy Gal Syndrome. Okay, but what animals do you think you could beat in a fight?
Again,
a dog.
Yeah.
Okay, in scale of size, I could beat a dog. I could beat a wolf.
I could beat a room of monkeys with
I could beat a monkey in a fight. I could beat a cheetah in a fight. I could beat a jaguar in a fight. Those are actually not as big as you think they are, and you can just shove your fucking arm down their throat and kill them that way.
Could beat a bobcat, I'm pretty sure. If I really tried.
Yeah. It's no big deal.
I'm trying to think what the biggest animal I could beat.
If I was on land, I could beat a shark. Sorry.
I feel like the shark on land, it's
I
got
could
some
beat
tech.
I could beat a squid in the water. I could beat an octopus in the water.
Oh, no chance you can. No.
You just wrap you wrap the tentacle around your arm like if you were wrapping an Ethernet cable around your arm, and then you yank as hard as you can.
You are weighed down by the water. It is used to that.
This is where you don't understand. You can't beat a shark in the water because you would have to punch the shark, and the punch is weak. Holding the tentacle on with one hand and then pulling away with the other
before you'd have a chance.
Holding the tentacle base with one hand and pulling the other from a certain length, you could probably tear a tentacle off. And you just have to do that 8 times and you beat an octopus, 6 times and you beat a squid. I think I could do it.
I think you could beat a bear?
No, I don't. No way, no. I don't think I could.
Not even with a weapon?
No.
I mean, it depends on if it's like a.
What's the weapon?
Like an assault rifle, then maybe. But that's still a maybe.
If I could unload 30 bullets into the head of a bear, yes, I think I would win. Otherwise,
just like a basic pistol, no, I don't think so.
I feel the bear is the most threatening mammal on Earth.
No, but like the bear would respect that I would come to challenge it. It'd be like, hold up.
Bears don't care about respect. Yeah, Bears don't respect anything.
Yeah, they do. You okay, here's what you got to do. This is how I'm actually defeating the bear. I dive in real quick. It thinks I'm going for the gun. No. Like, hear me out. And
why are you diving to grab a gun? In your scenario, you don't have the gun?
I have the gun, but I dive in up close and it's like it's about to shoot me. Oh, and then I pull out.
The bear's shooting you?
No, listen. You're being really annoying and irritating.
Sorry, you said it's about to shoot me, so I pictured a bear with a top hat and a gun.
This human is gonna shoot me, and then I pull out a honeycomb and I scratch its belly, and it was like, "You're all right, buddy." It's like,
a brown bear, maybe. A brown bear, maybe.
It was like, I like you,
or is
buddy.
it a black bear? Which one's the more docile one? I don't remember.
It's a polar bear, I've decided.
A polar bear will just fucking eat you. Polar bears are actually the least chill of all the bears ever.
Believe that.
They're also fucking enormous. Go look at it like a scale of like size of bear.
Fucking annoying.
The polar bear is like twice the size of a grizzly. It's fucking scary.
Yeah, but grizzlies are like chill compared to a polar bear.
Yeah, they're fucking enormous and they're fucking aggressive and they will kill you. They don't give a fuck. All they know is eat and kill. That's a bear. That's a polar bear. A grizzly, you might get lucky on the off chance. A brown bear, I think, is your. Sorry, I can't remember if it's a black bear or a brown bear, but like that's the most docile one. And even then, you're fucked if he's hungry.
That's why I brought the honeycomb.
Bears don't do that.
They like
you should bring like fish or meat or something with a stronger scent than you to distract the bear.
No, fish dipped in honey, it would go crazy for that.
Oh my fucking god.
They'd be like, okay.
Hey, boo boo, I know I was gonna eat this guy, but he left a little snack.
Okay, he'd be like, okay, Yogi. Let's maybe not beat him to death with hammers.
Oh, Yogi, you lost sight of the goal. Fuck you. That's not gonna happen. The bear's just gonna eat you, and then he's gonna eat the fish. He's gonna be like, sweet, 2 cakes.
No, I'd be like, no, I can make you more cake. I'm a cake maker. And it'd be like, well, I shouldn't kill the guy now. Because
then you start gyrating your ass at him and you try to mog him. I'm a cake maker.
No, I bake cake. Bake the cake. I don't do all that. Well, that's a podcast.
That is indeed a podcast. I quite like this episode.
It was a fun. We rambled.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the conversations. Hope you enjoyed the break from the rest of the real world. Unfortunately, now you have to go back out into there, but we hope we'll see you next time we record.
But there's earlier episodes you could watch.
There's other episodes you can watch in the meantime. We've got over a year's worth of episodes done. So if you want to go look through those, you can. If you know where to find us, you've found us. If you don't know where to find us, well, welcome in. Now you know. Until next time, we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.